Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Brush, Colorado, home of the Beat Diggers, for a special presentation of Brush Beat Digger football on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm Chris Bulbrom alongside Ron Alba on this Thursday night. Ron, it's not every night you get to have a Thursday night football game, especially to wrap up the season.
That is true, and I think the big thing is with Halloween happening on Friday night, we don't want any spooky type things to happen on a Friday night for high school football. So great call to have this game on a Thursday night. As we only have school 4 days a week, so it kind of gives us a way to end the week here with a football game, having lots of our fans out here to be able to celebrate and enjoy a great football game. Anytime we get a chance to play football games in northeastern Colorado on a Friday night, Thursday night, I just love it. It's a great atmosphere. I get excited. I'm ready to go.
Without a doubt. Our pregame show tonight is presented by Northeastern Junior College. From Plains to Possibilities, NJC has the educational path for you. Learn more about NJC and set up a tour today at njc.edu. Tonight it's Brush at 8-0 versus the Academy at 2-6. Brush has locked up a spot in the postseason. They've locked up the Colorado League 7 championship. Even if Sterling beats Weld Central tomorrow night, there's no way either team is going to beat Brush for that spot because they've beat both of those teams during the regular season. So this one's pretty much just finish on a high note, get a win, get into the postseason at this point.
Exactly. Keep that momentum going into the postseason. Also, if you got some guys, we're hoping that's a pretty good night. Maybe we can get a running clock by halftime. Our younger guys can get some time to play again, and that way our starters can get some more rest and get ready for that playoff game come next Saturday, which is nice. The season now extends an extra day, so we'll be playing on Saturday, so an extra day during the week to prepare definitely helps out a lot. And, once again, there's no way that Brush can possibly lose that championship, and it's great to watch this team where we were last year and where we are this year and how much we've come and the great job that this coaching staff has done with these athletes here to put them in this position right now.
Well, speaking of the coaching staff and to your point about keeping guys healthy, I know that was sort of Joe Rosenbrock's key to the contest tonight was let's just get out of here with everybody healthy.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants. Anybody in his situation, being a head coach, being an assistant coach, you want to keep everybody healthy. This is the time, this is what you play for. And you want everybody as healthy as they possibly can be leading into this long stretch, hopefully another 4 more weeks, culminating in the state championship.
And back to your point about where this team has come over the last couple of years, the talent's been there, the athleticism's been there, but it seemed like the last couple of years they couldn't quite put it all together. This year, they found a way to put it all together.
They found a way to put it together. Honestly, you got the talent, you got the coaching, but you got to have some luck too. And they've had the luck's been their way a lot of times this year. It's been hard work. They've imposed their will on many teams they played against. But last year, the luck just didn't fall in their lap a lot of times. And losing games very close, at the end of a game, or things just falling apart. And I know that really weighed heavy on Coach Rosenbrock last year. And that's one thing he stressed this summertime is we got to put that behind us. We got to focus on what we can do right now. Let's just continue to do the things that we do very well. Let's make sure that we can get those so that everybody knows what's going on, and then just kind of let things fall as they may fall.
Well, we've talked about what coach's key to the contest is tonight, but let's talk more about what you want to see out of this team tonight. Besides just keeping guys healthy, what is it that you're looking for out of Brush in a game like this tonight?
I'm looking for them to pretty much dominate at both lines of scrimmage, offense and defense. Without Richie Bruno running tonight, he's going to get another week's worth of rest. From what I hear, that hamstrings is on the men to be fairly well. So I believe he's on track, hopefully, to be able to play next week. But, it's nice to see some of those younger guys and the guys, that are in that backfield for them to get some more experience, because that's what really helps. And if we can take and be able to sub guys in, pull guys out, let somebody else play, those guys are going to be fresh throughout the game as well as the rest of the season. So look for them to just stay on track and do exactly what they've been doing all year long. I hope that they can keep the one of the weaknesses that they've got to address, and I know they've talked about it, is in their special teams. You have a big play, you score a touchdown, you go down there, you kick off. The next thing you know, your kickoff team breaks down. Somebody returns it for a touchdown. So we can't have things like that happen. We want to make sure that the special teams are working just like defense and offense is working.
There are those three aspects to the game: offense, defense, special teams, and when all three are working like they should, it makes you a pretty hard football team to stop.
Definitely, and I know that people are, as they're watching Brush and they've scouted them, they see many film on them, they know that those two aspects, offense and defense, are very tough. They know there's a little bit of a weakness on the special teams, but I'm sure they're aware that the coaching staff and what they need to put into play here will make that special teams even stronger, like the rest of the team.
Well, I know covering Sterling football for the last decade or so, I've seen plenty of Brush over the years, and talking with the Sterling coaches, one of the things they talk about is Brush runs pretty much the same style of offense they've run for years. You talked about it before when we were talking earlier. These kids have played together since Spiffle, into junior high, now into high school. That consistency and running something that you're familiar with, and nobody else can duplicate that. Like when other teams are trying to practice and scout you, they can run the same formation, but they can't run it at the same speed. They can't run it with the same efficiency because they don't do that on a regular basis.
No, that's exactly right. And the misdirection that's built into the playbook. And, Coach Rosenbrock and Coach Schwint, they do a great job of scheming different things, putting, maybe a different formation that you haven't seen, but they still run the base plays out of it. They might have 3 guys in the backfield, like they'll come out in that full house backfield. They'll run somebody in motion, bring him out to the line of scrimmage, still run the play that they want to run. So you have to prepare for all that. You don't know where it's going to hit you. And if you focus on the inside trap game, then you got to worry about the outside sweep. You take away the outside sweep or slow it down, the inside trap game is going to hit you. The counter game is going to hit you. So you just never know what to do. So you're going to take your choice in what you want to stop, and hopefully the other one doesn't beat you up too bad. But with the success that Brush had, and based on this year, there's been big games and big hitters each time they've done that.
And one thing we know about Brush football is eventually they're going to wear you down. The style of football they play, by the fourth quarter, you're going to be exhausted.
Yep, that is true. The big heavy-duty guys that are just, that offensive line has got a lot of beef, a lot of weight behind them, and they just kind of pound at you. And like you said, come third and fourth quarter, you're just beat up.
Well, it looks like they are getting ready to get things underway tonight. We will step aside for just a couple of moments, and when we come back, we will be one step closer to kickoff. It is senior night here tonight at Brush High School as they celebrate their senior class. The Academy and Brush moments away on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
American Legion Stage Post 16.
We welcome you back to Brush High School as we turn things over to the public address system for tonight's national anthem.
Sandlin.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran through the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, a stunning rendition of the national anthem for tonight's contest. I'm Chris Bulbrom alongside Ron Alba on this Thursday night, not a Friday night, a Thursday night for football. That's something that's become more and more common over the last couple of years as they've been trying to make adjustments with lack of officials and making sure they can accommodate everybody. More Thursday and Saturday games. In fact, I believe it was last year CHSAA dictated that every school had to schedule a Thursday night and a Saturday game to accommodate for officials. So this is not unusual territory, but it's part of the norm nowadays.
Exactly true. You know, it doesn't matter once the kickoff gets underway. It's just a football game. It doesn't matter when you play it. So
That's exactly right. Once the lights are on and everybody's here, it feels like business as usual. Well, there is a gaggle of seniors on the field tonight for the Brush Beat Diggers as the captains meet at midfield for the coin toss. We are just moments away from our opening kickoff tonight, which is presented by Bailey Mechanical. Make sure your heating systems are ready to roll for the cooler days ahead. It is currently 44 degrees and clear here in Brush, Colorado, with a very slight chance for some rain. Not a bad night at all for football here in the last couple of days of October, really.
Yep, exactly. I mean, beautiful night. It's going to be a little chilly, but you know what? Those guys in the field don't know any different. It's time to play football. Once they get moving, they'll be nice and warm. The people in the stands, they might feel a little bit more, but I do see we've got people here eating bowls of chili. So there's chili that's in the concession stand. What a better meal to have on a night like this than some chili and cheese and Fritos and crackers, whatever you want to throw in there.
Without a doubt. And from a football perspective, very little wind tonight. The flag not even moving up there on the flagpole. So shouldn't be an impact on tonight's contest, although you've got a team in Brush that doesn't that doesn't throw the football a ton. They are more a run-heavy offense, so the wind generally is not much of an issue.
No, not a big deal. And, you know, that's one thing nice is that they can't control the shot clock with that running game. But, you know, every once in a while, coach gets a little creative, throws a couple passes in there. You know, if Eric Rico is throwing the ball 5 times, that's a lot. So he's had, I think, as far as like 7 or 8 passes this year in a game. So that's way over what he normally does. So, and, you know, that's one thing we talked about. You said what you'd like to see. Maybe I'd like to see him open up that passing game. If you know, see what they can do a little bit more, maybe against a team like this. And just so that they've got that in their arsenal. So as they go down the road in those playoff games, they can always relay back to that.
And I will say, I've only seen the one Brush game. That was the Sterling Brush game that got a little out of hand by halftime. But both teams with different styles. But Brush threw the ball a little bit more against Sterling, and Eric Rico was very, very efficient in that ball game. So
yeah, when he's allowed to get out there outside the pocket, set his feet, and deliver the ball, he's really pretty accurate.
Well, the Academy Wildcats will be kicking off to start this first quarter of action. They will be kicking right to left on your radio dial with the ball teed up at the 40-yard line, and our opening kick is a squib kick up the far side, picked up at about the 22-yard line. Right up the gut goes the return man, and he'll finally be spun down at about the 35-yard line, and that's where Brush will take over. 1st and 10 with 11:53 on the clock here in quarter number 1.
10-yard kickoff return for Brush starts their down and starts the game for him right now.
Not bad starting field position. Looks like they spotted him down at about the 33-yard line officially. So gave him forward progress to the 33. That's where they will spot the football near the far hash mark as Brush goes under center with Rico. 2 backs behind him. They'll send the end in motion right to left. And there's the inside handoff and a big burst through the line on the opening carry of the night for the Brush Beat Diggers as Jelani Thomas, the 6'1" junior at 210 pounds, picks up a healthy chunk of yards, a gain of 8 on that first down carry to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, and Brush coming out, and their offense just running that inside trap real quick. A quick hitter with Jelani Thomas picks up 8 yards.
Same formation, split backs behind Rico under center, receivers on either side. There's that inside handoff again, and another tough run right up the gut. And another big gain. I believe that was Thomas a second time. No, that was Cassius Middlemist on the carry. Down to the 50-yard line, a gain of 9 for Middlemist. So a gain of 8 and a gain of 9, 17 yards on 2 carries. You'll take that per carry average all night long.
Every single time, yes, that's great.
Brush, not a team that tends to hurry out of the huddle. They like to take their time, make sure they're in the right formation. They'll go a little tighter formation now. Single receiver split wide left with a pair of ends. And there's the play action on the inside. Rico looking to throw. Pass on the near side. Caught and ripped down into Academy territory is the receiver at about the 31-yard line. That was Thatcher Queen who reeled in the pass from Eric Rico. A nice gain there on 1st and 10.
Yes, exactly. Thatcher Queen was lined up wide on the left side. He came across the formation. Eric Rico rolled out, saw that opening, delivered the ball, picked us up a 1st down.
Gain of 19 on that pitch and catch. It's 1st and 10, 2 backs behind Rico. Single receivers either side. The inside handoff goes to Thomas. Thomas, big burst outside the number, slips a tackle, and then he's chased down from behind across the 20 to about the 18-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 13 yards on the carry for Jelani Thomas, and right now Brush is just imposing their will on this Academy defense.
Yeah, Academy is just having a hard time trying to figure out where they're going to run. The offensive line's doing a great job of double teaming and attacking that line.
It'll be 2 backs behind Rico. Again, Queen, the lone receiver, split wide left. Ends on either side for the Beet Diggers as they go with that heavy line formation. The snap. And the give on the outside around the corner. Stiff arm on the far sideline as Dylan Krob, the senior, is rolled up at about the 5. Looks like they're going to give him the 4-yard line on that carry. So it'll be a pickup of 14 for Krob, and it's 1st and goal, Beet Diggers.
Yeah, Krob, the offense came out in a double tight formation that time. They ran to the left side where the strength was, picked up big yards.
2 backs behind Rico under center. Again, they go with the 2 tight end set. And Queen, the lone receiver on the left side. The snap and the inside handoff. And not much running room there. That's Middle missed on the carry. He's down to about the 1-yard line. So a gain of 3. 2nd down and goal for Brush. 1 yard away from putting points on the board.
Yeah, Academy did a great job. They slammed their defensive lineman there, and the linebacker filled that hole, and he was able to stop Middle Miss from scoring a touchdown.
That was one of those where you pick your poison,
Yeah.
right? You assume that it's going to be an inside handoff, so you crash that way and hope that you're right. Same formation. They switch backs in the backfield. There's the handoff, and Jelani Thomas from a yard out, untouched into the end zone for a Beet Digger touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run for Thomas, and the Beet Diggers are on the board first. It's 6-0.
That drive took a total of 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes and 23 seconds to go, and they traveled themselves 65 yards for a touchdown. What a great opening drive for Brush.
Without a doubt, and it took them all of, 6 plays?
6 plays, exactly.
Man, that is an impressive start for Brush as the point after is up and good as Eric Rico is the Swiss Army knife for the Brush Beet Diggers. Quarterback, kicker, and I believe he's also the punter, isn't he?
No, he does punt once in a while. I don't know, we haven't punted very much. So it's hard.
That's a good problem.
I think we punted one time last week or the week before. I can't remember. Maybe.
That's a good problem to have when you can't remember who the punter is on the team, because that means you don't see him very often. But I do know that Rico does a little bit of everything for this squad, and he quarterbacks a 6-play touchdown drive on the opening possession for Brush. Had 1 completion on that drive to Thatcher Queen. Everything else was on the ground.
Yep.
And Brush doing what they do best. They have a 7-0 lead with 8:22 on the clock here in quarter number 1. Our first quarter presented by Better Electric, covering all your electrical work from residential to commercial to agricultural. Better does matter. Call 970-521-1030. Here's Rico on the ensuing kickoff, and it's a floating end-over-end kick taken short at about the 30-yard line. But, boy, the Brush kick coverage team was all over that one. The special teams unit making an excellent stop at about the 35.5-yard line, maybe the 36 officially. So, wall of a 6-yard return on that short kickoff from Rico.
Yeah, and I'm sure that coaches down there said, hey, let's make sure that we are staying in our lanes. Let's make sure we get down there, we break down and make a tackle. Don't let anybody get away from us, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, the offense started strong. Let's see if the defense can match it, as the starting offense for the Academy Wildcats, led by Heath Allen, the senior, as he will take the snap and hand it off, and Brush right there to swallow it up for no gain on the opening carry of the night for the Academy Wildcats.
Boy, Eli Klein, Jelani Thomas, that defensive line just did a phenomenal job of blowing up the offensive line from Academy. And also, I know they didn't get any yards. I thought maybe they lost a yard or two, but the referee brought the ball back to the original line of scrimmage.
That was Hector Mendoza on the carry for no gain. Heath Allen, the senior, is the starting quarterback for the Academy. He actually started the season as their starting tight end / wide receiver, but due to an injury to their quarterback, took over as the team's quarterback in the fourth quarter against Sterling, and has been the starting quarterback since then, as they send a receiver in motion left to right. Swing pass on the outside, and there's a big hole on that far sideline, as the pitch and catch to Aaron Baker, the fellow senior, is going to get them close to midfield. They'll mark him down at the 49-yard line, so a pickup of about 17 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, great job there. The Academy cut Brush's kind of laying back on their heels as far as the defensive back goes. He had that quick swing pass right there, and then all of a sudden he just had open ground.
Ball at the 49-yard line on the far hash mark, as the Wildcats move right to left on your dial. They'll go 3 receiver set in the shotgun with Allen, flanked by his running back Mendoza. And Brush looks like they're going to bring some pressure, and I think they may have forced movement up front, as they showed blitz with the middle linebackers, and it got a flinch out of the offensive line.
Yeah, right there, I'm sure Academy got a little scared. They saw both those linebackers coming up in the A gap, and they were like, oh, no, here we go.
Yeah.
And Brush did a great job. Coach Rosenbach, great call there to get those guys to get right to the line of scrimmage, cause them to jump, then back out of it real quick. So
I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty sure I'd flinch if I saw those two come barreling at me that quickly. So it'll be first down and 15 as they march the football back to the 44-yard line. Academy coming to the line. They'll go single receiver wide right. That is Cedric Rathburn, the junior. 2 receivers left side. Ace backfield in the shotgun. Play action pass. The slant pass is caught. That's Rathburn on the quick slant, and he's ripped down by Cassius Middlemist around the waist, but not before the Academy gets the 5 yards back and then some. A pickup of, call it about 13 on the pitch and catch, maybe 12.
maybe 12, yeah, exactly. He just caught that little open space between the defensive back and the linebacker, that little quick slant. He was able to deliver the ball in that open window there and picked up great yards.
So it's second down and about 3 for the Wildcats. They go same formation again. That's Rathburn by himself wide right. Allen takes the snap, this time hands it off, and Brush not fooled one bit on the inside handoff to Hector Mendoza, as he is quickly met at the line of scrimmage and dropped for no gain.
Yeah, once again, a great job by the defensive line. There was Austin Lay was in there, Eli Klein was in there, all those defensive linemen in front, just those big bodies are trying to move, and they just cannot handle them.
So the 2 big plays on offense for the Academy on this drive have come on pass plays. A swing pass on the far sideline for Aaron Baker, the quick slant to Rathburn moments ago. That may be where they can take advantage of this Brush defense a little bit. See what they do here on third down and 3. They go same formation, the snap and the give, and enough for the first down, as Mendoza is able to push his way through the pile down to about the 40-yard line. He needed 3, got 4, and the Academy has a fresh set of downs.
And that time they just attacked our left side of the defensive line, their right side, just overpowered Austin Lay, and I believe that might have been that is Eli Klein. They were just able to get underneath him and move him just enough to pick up the first down.
So first and 10 for the Academy Wildcats, who look more improved as the season has gone along, almost as if they're starting to gel in these final couple of weeks, as Allen takes the snap, looking again for Rathburn on that quick slant, but led him just a yard too far, and Rathburn doesn't have the length to reel it in. An incomplete pass will bring up 2nd and 10.
And from watching that, it looks as though they might have sent that outside linebacker, which would have been Krob. Once he goes, that vacates that area and leaves it open for that quick slant. But that's just what I was seeing right now. I'm not quite sure because I saw him in the backfield.
They'll split Rathburn out wide right side. Aaron Baker is the receiver wide left, with Amador Lopez the slot man, and the quick handoff on the shotgun snap is going to pick up about a yard for Mendoza. Not much there for number 4, and it'll be 3rd down and 9 as the Brush run defense again comes up big.
It looks like Brush is going to a 5-man line in certain situations, because I believe that last time Krob came up to play defensive end on the far side of the field. So that makes a 5-man line.
Closing in on 4.5 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Brush. It's 3rd down and 9 for the Academy on the Brush 39-yard line. The snap and the quick drop. Pass near side is nowhere near either receiver. That ball kind of ended up in no man's land. They had Aaron Baker running a streak up the near sideline, and it looked like Amador Lopez maybe a quick cross across the middle of the field, and that ball fell in between the middle of them.
Yeah, they had one receiver at the 35-yard line, one about the 20-yard line. The ball dropped about the 30-yard line, so nobody was there.
So either miscommunication on the pass route or mistimed by the quarterback and the receiver, but either way, it is going to bring up a 4th down and 9 from the 39-yard line. Looks like the Academy is going to try to go for it, knowing that they may have to pull all the tricks out of the playbook to keep up with Brush. Pass far side, hits the receiver, Rathburn in the hands, and he cannot reel it in. That's as clean a pass as you're going to get. And Rathburn just has it hit off his hands, and it's a turnover on downs for the Academy.
Yeah, and if Rathburn catches that ball, it's a 1st down, maybe more depending on how the defense plays, but definitely it would have been a 1st down for them. So turns over on downs, Brush gets the ball back again, and it is 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the second quarter, or first quarter.
First quarter of action, 7-0 Brush. And Ron, to your point earlier when you talked about the luck being more on Brush's side this year than it was last year, that's a situation right there.
Yep.
Where the luck is on your side, because that ball hit Rathburn right in the hands, and like you said, he was past the sticks when he made that catch. So that would have been a 1st down to extend the drive. Instead, Brush has a chance to go up 2 scores here in the first quarter. Under center is Rico. 2-back formation behind him as the Academy stacks the line. There's the play-action pass. Rico with some pressure floats it over the middle and off the hands of Thatcher Queen. Man, Queen had a couple of steps on the defensive back. If he reels that in, that's an easy 6 points for the Beat Diggers.
Yeah, Thatcher Queen did a great job of running that great route. Got behind the safety. Eric delivered the ball. It was just out of his fingertips just a little bit right there. But, yes, you're right. To your point there, it would have been 6 points. So, obviously, Brush has found something that they can take advantage of in the passing game. It's nice to see them mixing it up and throwing the ball.
A couple of attempts for Rico early. 2nd down and 10. 39-yard line of the Beat Diggers. Rico under center. Split backs behind him. There's the inside handoff. That's Jelani Thomas who slips a tackle. Barrels his way forward across midfield. Carries a couple of tacklers with him, and he'll lean the football down to the Academy 46-yard line.
And just like that, 14 more yards for Jelani Thomas and the Brush offense.
Their per carry average right now is something that most teams would dream of. Averaging well north of 10 yards per carry are the Beat Diggers, as they'll go again with 2 backs behind Rico. Single receiver is Queen on the near side. The snap and the sweep play to the near sideline. There's the corner for the back, and he's upended at about the 35-yard line. But a solid run there. That was number 8 or number 9. Looks like, I think that's 9. Dakota Proctor.
It might have been Dakota Proctor, yeah. They came out in a 400 formation, ran a bootleg right on that play.
They go both backs behind Rico once again. Looks like Thomas and Proctor. Single receivers either side for the Beat Diggers from the 35-yard line. There's the inside handoff and a big hole slipping outside the tackles. Up the near sideline to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the goal line. And it's a Beat Digger touchdown. What a run to tack 6 more on the board for Brush, as they have a 13-0 advantage. I believe, was that Thomas again on the carry?
That was Dylan Krob that time.
Oh, Dylan Krob
Yeah.
on the carry.
And leading the block in that way was Xavier Betrez, not Xavier, I'm sorry, Udio Lopez was leading the blocking for him.
And the kick good from Rico, so the Beat Diggers have a 14-0 advantage, and we've still got just under 3 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Our opening quarter of action is brought to you by B&B Appliance. Over 30 years of experience, B&B can help match the appliances to your needs. Stop by 502 Ensign Street in Fort Morgan. Well, Ron, our key to the contest was getting that work done up front, and right now Brush is getting the work done up front on both ends of the football.
Doing a great job. They're slowing down. They're confusing their offense. They've had a couple of big plays, Academy has, but once Brush has buckled down, made an adjustment, they haven't got any yards, anything positive at all. So let's just have them keep going. Let's watch the kickoff again here, make sure everybody stays in their lanes, and limit any kind of yardage that they can get.
That was the other key, was make some adjustments to the special teams. They did a good job holding the Academy just 6 yards on their first return. Rico's got it teed up at the 40-yard line, shaded towards the near hash mark as he makes his approach, and he'll deliver the kick, and it's a high, short, end-over-end kick that'll be bounced and picked up at the 22-yard line, and then the return man slipped trying to corral the football. That was Gavin Snortland, the senior. He lost his footing, and he'll end up at the 20-yard line, and that's where the Academy will start this next drive.
And that's a great job by Eric Rico, exactly where the coaches want him to kick it. They want to kick it to their sideline as deep as they can, usually within the 20 or a little bit deeper if they can get it. Keep it in bounds and bury that team as deep as they possibly can. What a great job.
Perfect placement from Rico, and you get an assist from the field as Snortland's unable to keep his feet underneath him. And now the Academy down 2 touchdowns has got to go 80 yards across the field. 3 receiver set for Heath Allen in the shotgun with Mendoza to his right. He'll take the snap and hand it off to Mendoza. No, it's a quarterback keeper as he pulls it out of the belly of Mendoza on the option play, and he'll get down to the 25-yard line. Pick up about 5 on the first down carry for Heath Allen.
And a play like that, when you're running the option, puts a lot of pressure on that outside on your defensive end. So Jelani Thomas has got to be very disciplined in making sure he's staying home and not going for that fake, and then that relies on the linebacker to come up and get the pitch man on that. So,
well, great work by Heath Allen, the senior, to read where the defense was and turn that into a 5-yard gain, as he'll set up in the shotgun, same formation, slot right with a pair of receivers on that right side, and they hand it straight up the middle, and a nice opening for Mendoza as he's across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. A gain of 7 on that second down carry. It's a fresh set of downs for the Academy.
What Academy did on that play is they've got a tight end over here, so our defensive end is lining up a little wide. There is a big gap there between him and that defensive tackle, which is, I believe, Andrew Herrera, and that's where they are attacking. But our linebacker on that side has got to come up, and they've got to fill.
Shotgun for Allen with Mendoza to his left. And there is that big gap on that left side, as Allen will take the snap, and he'll give it to Mendoza again. And again, there's that big opening on the left side of the defense. And if Mendoza doesn't lose his footing trying to cut back inside, that's probably a first down for the Academy. Instead, it's a gain of 8, and it's second down and a couple.
Yeah, and right there, once again, that's the responsibility lies on that linebacker there, because that actually it's an offensive tackle. They're widening their splits on that side, which is forcing us to widen our splits and giving them a natural big hole to run in.
So 2nd down and 8 for the Academy. They've got 2 receivers right, single receiver wide left. The snap to Allen, the give to Mendoza. He'll kick it outside again across midfield into Brush territory. And the big back is going to be escorted out of bounds at the Brush 46-yard line, but not before he picks up plenty for the Academy and another 1st down.
Yeah, the Academy has found a weakness right now in the defense. That time, though, we did bring our defensive tackle and move him over inside, but of course, they were able to block down on our defensive end and run that ball to the outside and pick up positive yards.
Last 3 runs have all gone to the left side of the formation as they take advantage of that open space. See if they make it 4 in a row as they go stack trips receivers right side, single receiver left, and a new back in the backfield alongside Allen as there was a lot of movement by everybody on that Academy offense. Everybody sort of anticipating the snap a little early.
Well, once again, we also we had the blitz look like they were going to be blitzing, so got them confused a little bit. But they were attacking the same spot again, so Brush has got to make that adjustment. That linebacker has got to come up. He's got to go downhill, and he's got to fill hard.
Well, the Beet Diggers have chance to stop the Academy drive in its tracks on 1st and 15 with the football moved back onto the Academy side of the field at the 49-yard line. 46 seconds on the clock. 14-0 Brush here in the 1st quarter. And the new back in the backfield to spell Mendoza is Lucas Sanchez. To the left of Heath Allen. Again, those stack trips receivers on the right side and a low snap, and all Allen can do is fall on it and cover it up all the way back to the 44-yard line. Another loss of 5, and just like that, it's 2nd down and 20.
Yeah, they had all receivers on a straight go route down the field, so they were looking for an open receiver. That was a long pass all the way, and of course he couldn't control the snap. It hit the ground, had to drop on it, and now it's 4th down, time for them to punt.
20 seconds and counting, and I think the Academy may be willing to let this clock run down and run their next play at the start of quarter number 2. No hustle to get to the line of scrimmage, down to 5 seconds on the clock, and the sideline on the far side telling them, nope, just let it run down. We hit zeros on the clock. It's 14-0 Brush. We've played a quarter of action on this Thursday night on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back here for quarter number 2 in Brush. The Beet Diggers up 14-0 over the Academy Wildcats. 2nd quarter brought to you by Sydney Regional Medical Center. Don't let an injury keep you out of the game. Learn more at SydneyRMC.com. Well, it is 2nd down and 20 for the Academy after a false start penalty and then a fumbled snap. They've got a long way to go with the football all the way back to their 44-yard line. They'll stack 2 receivers on the near sideline, 2 on the far side as they are now going left to right on your dial, and the pass intended for Amador Lopez, the slot receiver, and he lost his footing trying to turn on that quick hook route. That's about the 4th time we've seen a guy lose his feet underneath him trying to make a quick cut or a quick turn, and the ball just sails into open space with the receiver not there.
Yeah, and sometimes that can happen, Chris. This time of the year with the moisture and the humidity in the air, the coolness right there, that grass gets a little slick, so that can happen. And, it's just one of those things you got to deal with.
Yep, those are the adjustments you have to make. Clock still running, surprisingly, after the incomplete pass. As they go 3 receivers set with Allen in the shotgun. Looks like Brush is going to blitz. They open it up, and there's the screen pass underneath and a wide open look for the receiver. That is Gavin Snortland, the tight end, who's going to pick up everything they need on 3rd down and 20. He's all the way down to the Brush 35-yard line. They needed 20. He got 21 on the screen pass.
What a great call at that time, knowing that Brush has been blitzing. Good call on their offensive coordinator, knowing that we sent the blitz that time, and a screen's a perfect play to call.
Yep, dialed it up at just the right time with Brush sending the house after the quarterback. There was nobody back there to try to corral Snortland, and the tight end / wide receiver turns it into a 21-yard gain and a first down for the Academy from the Brush 35. Trips receivers right side. This is where Allen had the fumbled snap in this formation. He'll take the snap, looks to throw, pass over the middle, and again it's dropped by Cedric Rathburn. I don't know if Rathburn's just anticipating the hit coming, and so he's trying to protect himself before the ball's in his hands or what, but that's twice now they've hit him right in the numbers, and he hasn't been able to pull it in.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a great job. He settled in the right spot, found that open spot in the defense. You just got to settle right there, let the ball come to him, get 2 hands on him, and then if he wants to turn and run, fine, but if not, you got a reception, and if they come and tackle you, you're in good shape, but he's getting a little antsy.
First thing they tell you, you can't do anything till you have the ball in your hands. Second down and 10. Spread formation on the offense. The snap and the give. Mendoza able to slip some tackles at the line of scrimmage and carry a tackler to the 31-yard line. A gain of 4. Just a straight dive up the middle on that second down carry. It'll be third down and 6 for the Academy. And let's see if Brush can dial up a defensive stop here. On 14-0 with 10.5 to go in the second quarter. Allen in the shotgun. Slot receiver right side. Single receiver wide left. It's an option play, and pulling it out is Allen, and he's got the corner and enough for the first down. Brush sold out on the fake, and Allen pulls it out and turns it into a healthy pickup down to the 23-yard line of Brush.
And that play to be unsuccessful for Brush, that defensive end has got to take that quarterback. He's putting that ball in his pocket right there, and he's waiting. He's got to stay home and stay disciplined.
And credit Allen for reading that the line had crashed towards the handoff and recognizing there was an open lane on that outside edge. Gain of about 9 on the carry for Allen. It'll be first and 10. They hand it off up the middle to Mendoza, and he is absolutely tattooed by Jelani Thomas, who takes him up off his feet. Gain of 1.5 yards, maybe 2. Second down and 8.
Jelani Thomas getting a little payback for that last time for him picking up big yards, so that's good.
That's a stout body to run into at full speed. Ball on the far hash mark at the Brush 21-yard line. The Academy threatening here in the second quarter as they're closing in on the red zone. Brush is dominated on offense, but the defense hasn't quite been as stout against the Academy tonight. 14-0. They've had a bend but don't break sort of mentality, and we're going to get a timeout by the Academy Wildcats as they discuss this second down play. This timeout presented by Buckeye Welding Supply. You have questions, they have answers. Area Welders knows what sets them apart from the rest. You can see for yourself at 330 South 11th Avenue in Sterling. Well, Ron, we knew that Brush was going to be able to find some success on offense. We thought maybe the same would be true on defense, but credit the Academy. They've found some soft spots in the Brush defense and been able to take advantage early on.
Yeah, and a big thing for Brush is just the adjustments there. You know, they've got, I know Coach has talked to him at timeouts there, and he's talking to him again right now. It's just a matter of alignment for the defensive linemen. They've got to be in the right position and just know what they need to do. That on that defensive end, you can't let somebody come and down block on you. You can't let them try to hook you. You got to play very strong. You got to fight outside pressure. But if you happen to take an inside route, it makes it easier for that tackle on the offense to come down and block you. So it's just a matter of alignment and attacking people now.
And that's what makes good coaches, is those in-game adjustments, recognizing where you need to make those adjustments and what you need to do differently to have success. Second down and 8 for the Wildcats as Brush shifts that defensive line to try to fill that hole. They're going to air it out far side, and it's incomplete. Intended down the far sideline for Braden Conley, the senior wide receiver, on just a little streak route up the far sideline, and he got behind the defender. Luckily, for Brush. Heath Allen had a little too much underneath that football.
Yeah, Christian Strohmeyer that time was just kind of sitting still. He didn't realize he's on a go right. Once that receiver breaks 5 yards, you got to turn and you got to run with him. He got behind him. Had that pass been on the money, it would have been a touchdown.
3rd down and 8 for the Academy. Big stop for Brush here if they can make a play. Heath Allen in the shotgun. Single back, Mendoza to his left. Play action pass. It is over the middle, and again it's dropped. And again it is Cedric Rathburn who cannot reel it in. Strohmeyer was there on the coverage, ready to make a play. And again, I think maybe Rathburn expecting the contact. Didn't make sure he secured the football. And it's 4th down and 8 for the Academy.
I mean, they've had a lot of opportunities for great passes, pick up positive yards, even touchdowns, and it just hasn't worked out for them.
The timing's been off. The location's been off where the receiver hasn't been able to hold on to the football. It's 4th down and 8. Mendoza, the big back, to the right of Allen. Spread formation. Slot receiver right side. Inside Aaron Baker, the snap to Allen, 3-step drop, pass near side. He's got the slot man who slips a tackle around the head and is going to be down inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. That was Amador Lopez who went up to make the catch and then made a nifty move on the ensuing tackle.
Yeah, that play was it was you could tell they were going there the entire time. Once he took the snap of that ball, he looked that way to find him open. That receiver did a great job of settling down there to catch the ball and give him a good target.
Down to the 12-yard line. It's a pickup of 9 on the completion. And it is 1st and 10 for the Academy. They can pick up the 1st down without scoring. They got to get to the 2-yard line. Allen in the shotgun. Mendoza left side. Rathburn, the lone receiver, wide left. The snap and the give. Right up the middle goes Mendoza. Slips 1, 2, 3 arm tackles, and he carries a couple of tacklers inside the 5 down to about the 3, maybe the 2-yard line. We've got an injured Wildcat down at about the 10. That looks like one of their offensive linemen who's down in the midst of the blocking fray. That is Adam Herrera, the junior.
I believe he's the guard. I think he's the right guard.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. So both teams will take a knee on the respective sidelines while they check him out. Ron, again, there was just enough of a hole for Mendoza to get through, and then just utilized his size really to get the extra yardage.
Yeah, and for a guy that big, he just needs a little crease, and once he gets that momentum going, he's going to be a tough guy to bring down. So right now, the defense has got to shore things up. We got to get things tightened because we should not be giving up this much ground on the field right now. We should not be giving up these yards.
Well, out of the injury timeout, it's going to be 1st and goal, I believe, for the Academy. I think they gave him the 2-yard line on the spot of the football, which would have been enough for the 1st down. So at the very least, it's 2nd down and half a football. At the most, it's 1st and goal from the 2. And a chance for the Academy to cut their deficit in half. 14-0 Brush, 8:16 on the clock. We're in quarter number 2. On this Thursday night of action, and our first half is presented by Stubbs. When you're traveling sports fans and you need that one stop that has it all, you'll find it. Exit 66A on I-76 in Wiggins. Ron, you just mentioned there's just minor adjustments that Brush needs to make on defense to kind of shore things up a little bit.
Yeah,
they're right there. They just need to make those minor changes.
Exactly. It's just, like I said, it goes back to the alignment. Where you're getting lined up where you're supposed to be and getting your hands on people and making contact. Defensive linemen, their job is to take care of the offensive linemen so they cannot get to our linebackers. And the way our defense runs, our linebackers should be making all the tackles. So if we're doing our job on our defensive line, linebackers' job is very easy. Right now, we're not doing what we need to do.
It is a thankless job sometimes being a lineman, whether it's offense or defense, and it seems like the only time anybody ever really notices how good or bad you are at your job is when something good or bad happens.
Yep.
You never talk about the lineman until somebody gives up a big play on either end of the football, and then all of a sudden they're the center of attention.
And right now, momentum's on the side of Academy. If you look at it, they're inside the 2-yard line, getting ready to score a touchdown and cut this score, like you said, in half.
So they gave him about the 2.5-yard line. So it literally is second down and about the length of a football for the Academy. Not quite first and goal yet, but like Ron said, they're knocking on the door. Allen in the shotgun with Mendoza to his left. Brush looks to bring some pressure. They're going to roll left side. Pump fake from Allen. He's still looking to throw the football. He's going to dump it off in the flat. And in for the touchdown is Amador Lopez.
Yeah, Amador Lopez was on the right side of the formation, just basically ran all the way across. Once he saw his quarterback scrambling, he did a great job of scrambling with him and giving him a target at the very last minute to score a touchdown.
Just got enough of a space in front of the defender to get in, and I mean, he was just inside the goal line, but you'll take him any way you can get him, especially in a game like this, and the Academy is an extra point away from making this a 7-point contest. It's 14-6 Brush. As their kicker lines things up, that's Ryland Chatterton, the senior.
They bring in an extra lineman. They were short one guy. I'm sure that was the guy that was injured.
There's the snap and the hold, and the kick is going to be well short. A low line drive kick. Chatterton did not get a clean strike on the football. He's unhappy with himself as he heads to the far sideline. Still technically a one-possession game, though. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and the Academy has things knotted up. It's 14-6 Brush, 8:02 on the clock in the second quarter, and this timeout is presented by the folks at Bailey Mechanical. As we gear up for these colder days ahead, we certainly want to make sure that all the heating units are running like they should, so contact Bailey Mechanical and make sure everything's ready to go, because even though it's pleasant right now, it's not going to be over the next few weeks.
No, it's not. You know, and I'm lucky. We got a brand new AC and heating unit put into our house this summertime. Well, at the end of the summer, and I'm so happy for that. Right now, I don't have to worry about anything going out in the wintertime.
That's fantastic. That's always a nice peace of mind.
Yes, it
going
is.
Going into winters in northeast Colorado where things can get a little on the cold side.
You get the wind kicking up out here and swirling around. Not fun at all.
Speaking of which, there is a little more of a breeze now blowing into that right end zone as the kick is delivered. A low line drive that is picked up at about the 12-yard line. Right up the middle goes the return man. Huge hole as he cuts outside. He'll slip a tackle at the 40 to the 45 across midfield. That's Thatcher Queen on the return into Academy territory, but there is a flag on the far side, and Ron, that's either a hold or a block in the back, one or the other, just given where that flag came from.
Yeah, I'm looking at that far side. I think it was a block in the back from one of the Brush athletes, and we're going to get that call real quick here.
They threw the flag at about the 45-yard line, so they'll march it off from there.
And the one who came off moving their hands like saying, I don't know what happened, I don't know what happened. Usually you're the one that did the blocked in the back, so yes.
Yeah, usually if you're the guy throwing your hands up going, well, I don't know how that happened, you're probably the one that was responsible. So the football will officially be placed at the 35-yard line once they march off the 10 yards, and Brush will start their next drive up by 8, 7:52 to go in the first half with Rico under center. Single receivers either side. The quick handoff up the middle. That's Thomas who kicks it outside across the 45-50. Boy, he can move to the 40, 35, 30, up the near sideline, barrels his way down to the 20, and he is rolled up at the 19-yard line. Credit Cedric Rathburn, who came across the field. He was the defensive back on the far side of the field, and he chased Jelani Thomas all the way down. But that is a massive carry for Thomas inside the 20 to the 19-yard line.
46-yard pickup for Thomas and a first down.
Brush a chance to rectify that touchdown they gave up moments ago as we tick towards 7.5 on the clock. Rico under center, split backs behind him, 3-step drop. Rico flushed. He gets away from one would-be tackler. Circles now. He's going to pull it and throw it. And what a snag on the near sideline by Thatcher Queen. And they're going to say it's incomplete. I don't think he had complete possession when he went to the ground, but boy, he nearly came down with that
He
one.
did. You know, and Eric, he had the option right there. He had lots of green. He had 20-some yards ahead of him. He should have just stuck the ball and ran down. He probably would have been, been well inside the 10-yard line, maybe even scored with the shiftiness that he has.
I legit thought that's what he was
Yeah.
going to do. He pulled that football down on the pump fake, and I thought, oh, he's going to take it, and instead tried to hit Thatcher Queen on the near sideline. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Same formation for Brush with the split backs behind Rico under center. And there's the give to Thomas, who pulls away from a tackle and is inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. That's just tough running there by number 17 as he picks up 9 on the 2nd down carry. It'll be 3rd and a yard.
Gain of 9 on the play, brings up 3rd and 1.
Actually got wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage, but used his strength to pull away from that tackler.
Yeah, Jelani Thomas, a very strong, powerful runner.
Ball spotted on the near hash at the 10-yard line of the Academy. Rico takes the snap, inside give, and down to the 5-yard line as Cassius Middle missed. Gain of 5 on 3rd and a yard. A fresh set of downs for Brush, and here comes big Dylan Krob to join the backfield for the Beat Diggers. Middle Miss will come to the near sideline. It'll be the big bodies of Thomas and Krob behind Rico under center. Under 7 minutes to play before halftime. 1st and goal, Brush from the 5. Rico gives it to Thomas. Thomas outside the left tackle, and he's got the angle to the goal line for a Beat Digger touchdown.
What a great job from the Brush offense. If you know their offense, you understand the formations. That was a 47 where they faked that inside handoff to the halfback drive going straight ahead. Jelani Thomas comes off a block between the tight end and the tight end and the halfback, I should say, and he runs off tackle, scores a touchdown.
He was untouched from 5 yards out, and Brush gets right back in front by 2 scores, 20-6 at the moment. As Rico connects on the extra point, it's through and true, and it is 21-6 Brush. 6:47 to go in the first half. Well, that long drive by the Academy where they marched 80 yards down the field to put the football in the end zone, Brush answers right back with a very quick drive of their own. Just, 5 plays, Ron, to get that in the end zone?
Yeah, 5 plays, 55 yards, ending in a touchdown in a total of like a minute and maybe 45 seconds. So
Brush's offense really has not spent a lot of time on the field because all 3 of their scoring drives have been over fairly quickly.
and over real quick, and also put together by big runs somewhere in there, or big plays that have gotten big chunks of yards for him.
That one highlighted by the 46-yard run by Jelani Thomas on the opening play of the drive. He nearly took it all the way home on the first play.
Yeah, good to see Jelani Thomas getting some more carries in the game. Well, like we said, with Richie Bruno out for the night here, that gives Jelani Thomas a lot more opportunities to run that ball and also continue to get more confidence.
Rico delivers the kick. This time he's going to boom it deep, taken at the 7-yard line, angling inside the numbers, and Cassius Middle Mist is there to make the tackle. That was Braden Conley who tried to get away from Cassius Middle Mist, and he wasn't going to let that happen.
No, Cassius is just one of those guys that he hustles every single thing he does. I coached him in middle school track and middle school football, and whenever we'd have our warm-ups every day, he was always the first guy to run our 2 warm-up laps. He never, ever waited behind. He was the first guy in, first guy to line up, first guy to get things done. He goes full speed every single time in practice, and obviously it shows here in the game situation. He plays like he practices.
And those are the guys you love as a coach,
Yes.
that play like they practice.
Yes, great athlete, great kid, great person.
Ball at the 15-yard line, a gain of just 8 on the return as the snap and the quarterback keeper for Allen. He'll slip a couple of tackles to the 20-25. Outside the numbers, 35-40. In pursuit is the Brush defense as they angle Allen out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down to the Academy 47-yard line. A pickup of 37 on that first carry of the drive for Heath Allen, the quarterback.
Yeah, once again, they found a weakness on the perimeter of the defense and were able to just get past that initial defensive line. From that point on, it's just a matter of him just kicking it into full gear and outrunning the defense.
Yeah, it's amazing how they seem to have found whatever the formula is to pick up some big chunks of yards. I've noticed they've kind of avoided the straight dive up the middle of the defense. They recognize they don't have the size to move that hole very often. So,
but for whatever reason, they found room running at the perimeter.
Slot man inside is Amador, and it'll be a play action pass near side, and a dangerous pass to Aaron Baker goes off of his hands and lands in the vicinity of Eric Rico, who's already got a handful of picks this season, nearly had another one.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that ball, it wasn't delivered with a lot of force. It's like he didn't really set his feet, and he just let the ball kind of float up in the air, and that's always a recipe for something bad.
Sometimes all it takes is a lucky bounce if you're on the defense, and Brush kind of hoping for one of those right now, as it is 2nd down and 10 for the Academy. Allen in the shotgun again. He's got Aaron Baker wide right. This time just a straight dive handoff and nowhere to go for Mendoza. And the football comes out at the end of the play. But they're going to say he was down before the football came out. They're going to spot him back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2. And Mendoza's still down on his back at the 40-yard line as he's going to be looked at here on the field. He got stood up and then driven back almost 10 yards on that play.
Yeah, there was lots of beat diggers that just pounded him. And what was kind of amazing about that play is they pulled their guard to the far side of the field, but yet they ran this way on the near side of the field, our sidelines here, which is completely odd because they had no blocking for him.
Yeah, it was almost like they were trying to fake Brush into adjusting to that strong side and then go back to the weak side to see if they could find an opening, but Brush did not bite on that one.
No, that defense held strong, came up, made the tackle, put him on his back.
Well, he gets up fairly quickly and will walk under his own power to the far side. He's going to have to sit out a play at least, since they had to bring the coaches and stuff onto the field. He's standing outside the huddle, but they're going to have to escort him to the far sideline because anytime you have to stop play for an injury, that player has to sit at least one play out before they can come back in. So after the stop, it'll be 3rd down and 12. Call it a long 11 as the ball is just inside the 45-yard line of the Academy, and Brush looking for a big stop here.
I'd look for them to run this option again one more time to this side.
They're going to go trips receivers left side as Brush brings some pressure. The quick throw, and there's a catch at midfield, but well short of the sticks. They get the quick slant delivered to Cedric Rathburn and pulls it in, but Christian Strohmeyer drops him almost immediately. It'll be 4th down and about 6 for the Academy. Ball right on the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and they did a great job that time. Finally got the ball into somebody's hands, but great job by Christian Strohmeyer to stay disciplined, stay home there, make a tackle.
And I will say the couple of drops that the Academy had, Brush has been right there. So it's not like the Academy was necessarily going to get a big play out of it, but still, they've had some opportunities to make some plays and haven't come through. They're going to keep the offense out there, down 21-6, 5:05 and rolling here in the second quarter. Trips receivers left side for Allen in the shotgun. Looks like Mendoza's back in the backfield, and a flag on the play, and it'll be a delay of game on the Academy. And that'll march him back 5 yards, and now it's 4th down and long, 4th and 12. Back to the Academy 45.
And for the Academy, there's really nothing to lose. You don't really gain anything by punting the ball. Yeah, you might turn it back over, but right now, there's nothing left for their season here, so might as well keep the guys in the field.
They've been able to come up with some big plays tonight against this Brush defense on 4th and 12. Allen rolling left on the bootleg, looking to throw. Pressure comes, he floats it up, and it is going to be caught by Rathburn, but he is well short of the 1st down, brought down by Thatcher Queen. The pass caught at the Brush 47-yard line. So a gain of 8 on the completion leaves them 4 yards shy of a first, and Brush gets the turnover on downs. And again, that was just excellent defensive work by Thatcher. Yeah, the catch made in traffic, but Queen gets the immediate tackle to prevent the first down.
Yeah, he did a great job as defensive back.
He'll be the single receiver split wide left. Check that. Receivers on either side of the formation for Rico on this first down play, and he will hand it off up the middle, and I think there's a loose football, and the Academy says they have it, and they do. A fumbled football by Brush, recovered by the Academy, and just like that, the Brush defense is back to work.
Yeah, that play didn't look very good from the beginning. Eric Rico was stretched out with his arms real deep, like he normally is not that way, and that ball never got into the running back's hands.
So the Academy will take the football away at the Brush 49. 4:41 on the clock. Brush up by 2 scores, 21-16. We're in the second quarter. Senior night tonight in the final game of the regular season for Brush here at home. Trips receivers right side for Allen. Single receiver wide left. Pressure from Brush. The pump fake and the sack. Brush brought the house on the blitz, and Allen got swallowed up. He ends up back at the 40-yard line. They officially rule him down at the 42, but still, that is going to be a loss of 9 on the sack.
Yeah, he was trying to get back there and set the ball and realized there was nobody to throw it to. Thought he'd tuck it, maybe try to get away, but the defense was right on top of him.
He had 3 maroon jerseys in his kitchen before he knew what to do. 4:07 and counting. Now second down and 19 with the ball back to the Academy 42-yard line. Amador the slot man inside. Aaron Baker right side. The snap and the option play. Allen pulls it out left side. He'll turn it up across midfield, and he's tripped up at the Brush 45-yard line. That is a pickup of about 13 on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and 5. And the clock stops at 3:38 as you're listening to Brush Beat Digger Football here on 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan. Also online at KSIR.com, all part of the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 3 receivers set as they spread it out for the Wildcats. Allen takes the snap. There's the give to Mendoza. Slips a tackle right up the gut. He'll shimmy his way across the 40 to the 39, and he's got enough for the Academy to pick up the first down. They give him the 38-yard line, so a gain of 7 on the carry. And the Academy has a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, the Academy has found a little bit of a weakness right now. They're gaining some confidence, just like when they went there and scored that touchdown. So what a way to keep the ball away from the Brush offense right now for the remainder of this third quarter or second quarter.
And that's exactly what they've done tonight. We expected a much bigger margin by halftime, but they've done a good job of keeping the Brush offense off the field as Allen's going to slide down as he tries to find an opening on the option play. A short gain of, call it 3 on the carry. Second down and 7 for the Academy. Allen recognized he was going to get swallowed up pretty quickly, so he elected to go to the feet for a slide, give himself up.
Yeah, not let your head get taken off.
Exactly. Already seen a couple of hard hits by this Brush defense tonight. They can leave a reminder if they want to.
Yeah, they're a hard-hitting defense.
Under 2.5 to go in the first half. Second down and a long 7, short 8. Quick pass on the slant, and again, Braden Conley this time has the ball, hit him in the hands, and he can't secure it. An incomplete pass will bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, their receivers are having a hard time holding onto that ball when it's a nice clean pass right there. If he gets a hold of that ball, he's off to the races.
Just a little quick play action pass, quick slant in from Conley on the outside. He had position on the defensive back, but Again, cannot reel it in. That's at least 5 drops by the Academy receivers tonight. 3rd down and call it 8 for the Academy. They'll stack those 3 receivers right side as they bunch them up. Pressure comes, passes in and out of the hands of the receiver. A dangerous play there as that ball bounces around in and out of the arms of the intended receiver. I believe that was Aaron Baker who couldn't reel it in that time.
And then they had a secondary receiver, number 3, who was right there, and the ball almost bounced into his hands for a completion.
4th down and 8 for the Academy. They've already gone for it a handful of times tonight. As Ron said earlier, nothing to lose in this situation. And I think right now they're trying, look like Amador Lopez, the slot receiver, was trying to call a timeout. He was emphatically signaling to the far sideline that they needed to call a timeout. We're just under 2 minutes to play, 1:59 on the clock here in the second quarter. Second timeout used by the Academy in this first half, presented by Gordon Insurance. Be prepared for everything life throws your way. Car, life, farm, and crop insurance, all at Gordon Insurance. GordonINS.com is the website.
And right now, Chris, I mean, Academies, they're on a roll. They got some momentum. They got a little confidence going right now. They're putting things together. The pressure is all on this defense right now to shut this down and try to get things back under control again.
And I think even if the Academy doesn't score here, Ron, I think that's kind of got to be the message for them in the locker room at halftime. Like, hey, guys, yeah, I know, if the score stays the same, I know we're down 21-6, but we've kept moving the ball against the defense.
Yep.
We've controlled the clock. I mean, we talked about it. Brush's offense hasn't been on the field that long.
They have not been on the field. And thus, if you look at the clock and look at where Academy's at right now, they've taken advantage of time of possession.
Yeah, all signs point to this being a much closer game than it even is right now, with a 2-possession lead for Brush. Out of the timeout on 4th and 8. Here comes pressure. Pass near side, floated into the hands. A wide open receiver, and he will lose the football as he hits the track out of bounds, and slow to get up is Amador Lopez, but he makes a great pirouetting catch, and he is down to the 19-yard line, so a pickup of 17 on the completion on 4th down, and that's another 4th down play given up by the Brush defense to keep the drive alive for the Academy.
Yeah, Academy, you got to give hats off to them. They are not quitting in this game. They're doing everything they can to put the pressure on this defense and completing those long passes down the field like that. What a great job.
Well, we saw Weld Central hang tough with Brush in the first half last week. The Academy trying to do the same here this week. 1st and 10 from the 19. Baker wide right with Rathburn wide left, and it's the slot man Lopez on a quick swing pass, bouncing off of tackles, and he spins his way inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line. A gain of 16 on a quick little out route from the slot guy, and he turns it into a pickup of 16 yards.
And the pressure, the defense blitzed right there. That leaves an opening in that spot. He found that spot, got the ball in his hands, and made a great play.
He is quick, shifty, and hard to bring down is Amador Lopez. He is the quintessential slot receiver, just small, quick, good hands, does everything you ask him to do in that spot. He'll be slot right inside Aaron Baker with the shotgun snap to Allen, the quarterback keeper, as he pulled it out of the belly of Mendoza, and Brush able to swallow him up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the heck happened there that time. I mean, it seems like he held onto that ball a little bit longer than what he needed to. I think he needed to release it, let that running back take the ball.
Yeah, Mendoza had a wide open lane. He'd have scored easily, but tried to pull it out of the belly of the back, and it's a loss of a couple back to the 5. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Clock still running, down to 44 seconds before halftime. The Academy has 1 timeout left. Took a lot of time getting out of the huddle. Allen in the shotgun, takes the snap, play action pass over the middle, knocked away. Good coverage there. Was that Cassius Middlemist who made the play?
That would have been Eric Rico.
Oh, was it Rico?
Yeah, they took that receiver and lined him up wide, knowing that a slant is the only play they can run right there. Eric did a great job of getting inside that and being able to make a break on the ball.
Timed it perfectly to swat it away. It is 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line.
27 seconds left to go.
Academy trying to make this a 1-score game before halftime. Brush trying to keep it a 2-possession ball game. 21-6 Brush, 27.9 seconds on the clock. 3rd and goal from the 5. Again, it's Lopez inside, Baker on the right side. This time they just give it to Mendoza, and he just barrels 5 yards forward and lays out across the goal line for the touchdown. It's the same play we said they should have run on 1st and goal.
Yep.
This time they get the 5-yard score and make it a 21-12 ball game.
And now it would make sense that Academy would want to go for 2 to bring this to a 21-14 game.
Make it a 7-point ball game, a single touchdown and a point after to get the tie. So they will put the football on the far hash mark at the 2-yard line. Allen flanked by Mendoza, trips receivers right side. Single receiver wide left, rolling out near side pass in the flat is well short of the intended receiver. That was Gavin Snortland, who had to lay out to try to make the catch. He wouldn't have been in had he made the catch. So
No, it's kind of a weird play call. They didn't get anybody deep in the end zone so they can come back to the ball. They just kind of let him stay in front of the goal line, which is really odd.
yeah,
So,
not exactly how you would see it drawn up
Yeah.
in that situation. And again, a little surprising you didn't try to just go power run up the middle after Mendoza was able to get you the touchdown moments ago. So again, the ball bounces Brush way a little bit there to make it a 21-12 ball game. So 9 points separate the two. That still makes it a 2-possession game technically, because you'd have to get a field goal in there somewhere if you're the Academy.
Well, last time they got a kickoff, they were really close to breaking it for a touchdown. Would be interested to see if Thatcher Queen can break this one open with 24.2 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter.
Both return men set up at about the 17-yard line, and this time it's Middlemist at the 21 to the 25-30. Still up the numbers, now outside. He's got blockers 40, 45, near sideline 50, and he's into the Academy territory as they will mark him out of bounds at the Academy 46-yard line. And Brush with 15.3 seconds and 3 timeouts could potentially put another score on the board before halftime.
Well, it's a good opportunity once again to get Eric out there and try to air it out, see if they can. Good play to call right now might be a crossing pattern or a quick dump to the tight end Castro.
Looks like Thatcher Queen will be the lone man wide right for Brush. So they go 2 tight end set. Play action pass. Rico, he's going to pull it down. It's a quarterback play up the near sideline. Blockers in front of him to the 20. 15, still on his feet to the 10. Inside down to the 7-yard line. And a timeout taken with 4.3 seconds on the clock. That's a big play.
That's a huge play. That's a bootleg run to the left. Defense figuring that we were going to try to throw the ball deep, played back deep with their linemen. That left everything open. We pulled a guard coming that way. We had our tight end sealing and blocking that area. What a great play call in that situation.
Well, and credit both of those tight ends because they put 2 really good blocks in front of Eric Rico to open up that hole for him. And as you mentioned earlier, he is shifty and he is fast, and he put both of those to good use. It is 1st and goal Brush from the 7-yard line with 4 seconds to go. So realistically, you probably have 1 shot at it here, maybe 2 if it's a quick play and you can get another timeout or an incomplete pass to stop the clock. But any sort of run play that's not in the end zone is probably going to keep you short.
Yeah, it's going to be. And they're coming out in a double tight formation. Tight end left. Nope, tight end right. No, you do have tight end left and the slots on the right side.
Thatcher Queen wide left. That's the keeper for Rico. Gets a blocker at the edge. He's angling towards the goal line, and he's going to be, I think, about a yard shy as the siren sounds.
And they're going to mark him.
Still waiting for a spot from the officials. The Academy's headed to the locker room, so it looks like they're going to say he's a yard shy of the end zone. So that's how the first half will end. Brush comes a yard shy of making it a 27-12 ball game. Instead, it's 21-12 as we head to the locker room at halftime. Our halftime show coming up on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back here at Brush High School, the Bee Diggers holding a 9-point advantage at the half, 21-12. I'm Chris Bulbrom alongside Ron Alba on this Thursday night. Our halftime show brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Borrow your money, do your banking with people you know and people who know you. Stop by one of their 10 locations across the plains or visit equitable-savings.com. Ron, not exactly how a lot of folks saw this one playing out in the first half. Thought it might be a little more one-sided than it has been. Credit the Academy, though, for hanging tough in that first half.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, a team like that really has nothing to lose. They're coming out. They're pulling out all kinds of stops. They're running some option. They're running a lot of good passing plays. You know, unfortunately, they had 5 drops that could have changed the tone of this game right now for Academy, but you know what? They've still hung in there. They still stayed tough, and they're knocking on the door. So they're not going to go away easily. So Brush has definitely got to have their work cut out this second half. Hopefully they made some adjustments on defense so that they can limit any of those big plays, and they're figuring out what their pass defense is going to be so that they cannot get open down the field and complete those passes.
We talked about it before the halftime break, kind of what the message would be on the Academy side of, hey, guys, we're right in it. We're right here. We're sticking tough. From a coach's perspective, what's your message in the locker room for Brush at halftime?
Well, the message is, listen, guys, we're not doing what we need to do, okay? We're not playing disciplined defense. We're not playing assignment football like we need to. We've got to do a better job of that. This game, by no means, is not anything that's not important. This is a very important game for us. This is going to help set the tone for the next week in practice and for the following week in the playoffs. So we have got to get those adjustments done. We got to make sure that you are playing assignment football and you are doing exactly what you need to do so that you stop them on defense. That's the big key. We know the offense can move the ball. There's never been a doubt about that. The defense right now has got to find out how they're going to make some big plays and how they're going to play solid, sound defense in the second half.
How much does not having Richie Bruno in the middle of that defense play a role in the way they're performing right now?
You know, I think that has some. You know, he's a big body that's able to fill the hole and to stop it. But the thing about it is, Academy has not been attacking the middle of our defense.
Really
They've
haven't.
been attacking the perimeter. They've been working on on option game. They've run the quarterback. And so what's happening is our defensive ends and outside linebacker on that side, they've got to be able to control that man across the line of scrimmage. That's the big problem right there. They're able to hook our defensive ends. They're able to just basically come out and drive straight ahead of them and widen up and gap and make a big gap there for their running backs to run in, down the field. So that's what it comes down to. Richie is, don't get me wrong, we'd love to have him in there, but they haven't been attacking the middle of the field.
And that's something we talked about in that first half. They learned quickly that going down the middle of the field was not going to be an option for them. They don't have the ability to move the line in the middle of that defensive line to create those big gaps. And the Brush defense is very, very good in the middle of the field. But there are some soft spots on the perimeter, and they've run some really high completion percentage pass routes. They're not running a lot of deep pass routes. They're not running, fly routes down the sideline. It's quick slants in, it's crossing routes, it's flat routes. It's things that are generally easy completions, high percentage, pick up a few chunky yards, and move the football.
And yeah, credit the offense for Academy because those receivers are able to find the open spots in the defense and get themselves in a position where the quarterback can see them and throw the ball and get a completion out of that. But yeah, they're doing a great job. They know that, and I'm sure they've scouted obviously Brush, and Brush has blitzed quite a few times tonight. Where are they blitzing? On the inside, the A gaps. So stay away from the middle of the field, take our chances on the perimeter, and see what we come up with.
Well, and we talked about the Brush offense. Not much to talk about there because they haven't spent a lot of time on the field. It's been quick drives, big plays, and touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, Brush's first drive was 7 plays, 65 yards. Probably took a total of maybe 2.5 to 3 minutes. It was like 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Their second scoring drive, 4 plays, 67 yards. Okay, so they're not on the field very long, but big plays within those series. And then, of course, their third score was once again another 7 plays, 66 yards. So they're picking up big chunks of yards down the field, but they're not sustaining long drives while they're on the field. And that's the key to being able to control the line of scrimmage and control the game when you can sustain long drives like Brush likes to do.
And it's almost one of those you kind of want to see them put a longer drive together just to give the defense an opportunity to catch its breath a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. The defense needs a little bit more time. Also, it kind of helps them come to the sideline. Coaches can talk to them, figure out what's going on, and then make some more of those adjustments that they need to. But the big thing is just to get some rest.
Eric Rico delivers the third quarter kickoff, and it'll be picked up by Lopez, Amador Lopez, and a little shimmy move by Lopez up the middle of the field, and he's going to take it all the way down to the Academy 42-yard line, 47-yard line. A nice return for Amador Lopez of about 27 yards. Call it 26 as they put him at the 46-yard line officially. And near midfield, the Academy opens up the second half, and it's brought to you by Buildings by Design. First impressions are important. Buildings by Design will make your vision a reality. Visit buildingsbydesign.com.
And that's exactly what Brush did not want to have do. You don't want to give them a short field because they've been very successful. A short field makes it a whole lot easier to get in that end zone.
Lopez, the slot man inside. Baker, the wide receiver on the right side. Out to the far side is Rathburn, and it's a quarterback option for Heath Allen, and the big quarterback spins his way across the 50 and into Brush territory to the 48-yard line. A gain of 6 on the first down carry for Allen. Second down and 4 for the Wildcats.
And just like that, Academy's in positive yards. They're on the Brush side of the ball and just outside the 50-yard line. So, they're doing exactly what they want to do.
They'll come out in that same formation with Baker and Rathburn on the outside. Lopez slot right. Mendoza to the left of Allen in the shotgun, and it's a handoff to Mendoza, and Hector Mendoza is going to be stopped for no gain, maybe a half yard officially. They'll slide the football forward to the 47-yard line, bringing up third down and about two and a half from the yard to gain. They need to get to the 44-yard line of the Beat Diggers do the Academy Wildcats. Allen flanked by Mendoza. Same formation they've run on the last 2 plays. The snap, play action pass far side. It is caught on the sideline. That's Rathburn who tries to dance his way away from the defender, and he'll be brought down inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. A gain of 7 on that completion, or gain of 8, and a fresh set of downs for the Academy.
And once again, the receiver doing a great job of finding that little open spot between the defensive back and the linebacker right there, and he completes the pass for first down.
Not doing anything dramatic, just finding an open spot on the field, taking what the defense gives you. First and 10 for the Wildcats. From the Brush 39, there's the give to Mendoza. Tries to slip outside. What an excellent play, though, by the defensive lineman for Brush.
Austin Lay coming up and wrapping him up tight with not letting him go anywhere. He just got both hands on him, squeezed him, brought him to the ground.
Well, and initially he still had a hand on his blocker on the offensive line and got one arm around Mendoza before he was able to strip the blocker and get both arms wrapped around the ball carrier. That was just a strong bit of tackling by Lay while still engaged with his blocker. Not a bad way to start that first down carry. A gain of 1.5 yards, call it second down and 8. Shotgun for Allen. Mendoza to his right. The snap and the give to Mendoza. And again, not much running room as he goes left guard this time. And gain of Call it 2 more. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Academy.
And Mendoza's a big body, big. When he gets a hold of that ball and starts running, he's a big guy to bring down. And once again, they attacked the inside of the defensive line, which is the strength right now. So surprised that they're not trying to run more to the perimeter, but they're probably looking to set something up right now.
3rd and 6, ball on the Brush 35-yard line. Mendoza to the left of Allen in the shotgun. They've run that spread formation this entire drive. The give to Mendoza, patient running as he tries to push his way forward, and they run it right up the middle again, this time off of right guard. And again, Brush is there to make a quick stop. That was Conrad Kastrup who makes the stop, and it'll be 4th down and 3 for the Academy from the Brush 33-yard line.
Yeah, great job of the defensive line, holding their men up and allowing Kastrup to come down and make the tackle as a linebacker.
See what the Academy draws up here on 4th down and 3. Brush would love a turnover on downs if they can get this 4th down stop. Same formation, 3 receivers with the single back in the backfield with Allen. The shotgun snap to Allen. The give to Mendoza, and he lays forward, but I think he's going to be just short on the 1st down marker. Again, it's Conrad Kastrup who makes the tackle, and it is a Brush beat digger 1st down as they stop him a half-yard shy of the sticks.
And what a great job by the defensive line. They've definitely made some adjustments at halftime, and knowing that they need to go ahead and make sure they are controlling the offensive linemen and allowing those linebackers to do their job.
2 really big tackles by Kastrup on that drive as they stop it at the 31-yard line. Brush takes over 1st and 10. 8 minutes exactly on the clock here in the 3rd quarter, up 21-12. There's the inside handoff. Jelani Thomas stood up by a host of white jerseys, and you can see a couple of tacklers trying to rip the football out of his hands. That was Cooper Volkman, the senior for the Academy, who was trying to rip that ball out of the vice grips of Jelani Thomas. Gain of only 2 on the carry, but it'll be 2nd down and 8 for Brush. They go single receivers to either side and 2 backs behind Rico. This time the inside handoff goes to Middle Mist. He gets a head of steam, and he'll be carried on the tackle by Heath Allen down to the 40-yard line. That'll turn into a gain of 6 more, and it'll be, I'll call it 7, 3rd down and a yard.
It's a great situation to be in. Short yardage on 3rd down makes a whole lot of options here available for the Brush offense right now.
3rd and 1 from the 40. Ball on the near hash mark. Thomas takes the handoff, finds a hole across the 45 to the 50 into Academy territory as he's brought down at the Wildcat 45-yard line. Another big run for Brush. That is a pickup of 15 on the carry.
Yeah, 15 yards. And now into positive yards are on the 45-yard line of Academy.
This is the kind of drive that Brush needs to put together. Pick up big chunks of yards, but not get down to the end zone really quickly. Kind of eat some time off the clock. Give your defense a chance to regroup a little bit. They go heavy formation, quick handoff, Cobb up the middle, big hole to the 35-30, still on his feet, down to the 20, and he's finally ridden down out of bounds at the 20-yard line. The 19 officially is where the near official spots him out. A big gain all the way down to the 19-yard line, a gain of 26.
26 yards, and just when you think you got one guy tied up, the other guy gets the ball, and all of a sudden he's off to the races.
And Brush has a combination of size, speed, power. He can do a little bit of everything. It'll be the 2 bigs in the backfield again with Thomas and Cobb, as Rico will hand it off to Cobb again. Bursts forward to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the goal line, and he is just shy. Call it the half-yard line official. Cobb just sort of drops the shoulders as he hands the football to the official, like, really? You couldn't have just given me the extra half yard?
Yeah, Dylan Krob, senior Dylan Krob.
Having a heck of a second half already, as it is first and goal, Brush from the 1. And they're going to keep Krob back there with Thomas. They'll flip him this time with Thomas left, Krob right. Rico under center, gives it to Thomas, who has stood up at the line of scrimmage, but second effort, he'll spin his way forward for a beat digger touchdown. That was all on Thomas there as he got stood up at the line of scrimmage, but he was able to spin off of the pile and get himself into the end zone for the score.
Second effort by Thomas there with just powering with those legs. Just keep driving, don't give up. Give yourself a chance to get in the end zone and score a touchdown.
So Brush answers on their first drive of the second half to make it a 27-12 contest. Rico out there for the extra point. He's perfect on the night. He's connected on his first 3 attempts. A little bit of a high snap, but the hold's still there in plenty of time. And right down the middle is the kick from Rico. 28-12. Brush has a 16-point advantage. And Ron, the hope now is after your defense got that stop on 4th down that maybe you get a little momentum your way and can start to spread the difference here a little bit.
Definitely. I mean, that's definitely has helped that defense a lot. And, you know, you taking a look at that series right there, that was 6 plays, 68 yards, took 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Still not as much time as you want to use up, but they're getting better. So, and they had to travel, like I said, 68 yards to score the touchdown, but also taken by big yards. There's a 25-yard run from Krob, a 15-yard run from Thomas. And so those are 2 big yards right there, big chunks of field right there.
Yeah, I think the longest drive they've had has been, 7 plays? I think
7
it's the
plays,
longest
yep.
they've run.
Yep.
So that's kind of been the norm tonight. 6, 7 plays get you down the field and into the end zone. And again, as long as you're ending every drive with a touchdown, you're not going to complain too much.
No, you'll take those anytime.
So Rico tees it up at the 40-yard line, and he will deliver the kick, a line drive missile back deep, and they're going to let it bounce and roll, and it just sneaks across the goal line for the touchback. That nearly had enough backspin on it to keep it in play, and that would have been disastrous for the Academy.
That was so close to stopping just outside the goal line. Amazing how he got that ball to spin like that and just slow down.
Braden Conley, the senior who was back to return, thought, oh, you know what, this will be an easy touchback. I'll just let it go. And that ball took a bounce backwards and nearly ended up in the field of play. But it'll be 1st and 10, the Academy at the 20-yard line. Moving left to right on your radio dial in this third quarter. Cats in their white jerseys, blue pants trimmed in green and white. The blue helmets with the white logo, and they will send their slot man in motion out of the backfield. They had Amador Lopez lined up in the backfield, and they hand it off to Mendoza, the halfback, and it's a gain of a yard up the middle for Mendoza. So trying a little bit of misdirection there, Ron, and it didn't really work out.
Didn't work out for him, no. Brush defense, they've done a great job of staying very disciplined right now, and they made the adjustments to keep that offense from picking up big plays.
This time a more traditional formation as they go back to that spread formation. Lopez inside, Baker right side. Rathburn far left. Snap and the give to Mendoza, and Brush right there immediately, almost as the ball was handed off. A gain of a yard and a half for Mendoza. 3rd down and call it a long 7, short 8.
Yep.
That was Cassius Middlemist who got the tackle, and I mean, he met Mendoza almost as soon as he had that ball in his arms.
Yeah, Cassius did not wait at all. He got that read. He took that first step, which is always going forward as a linebacker, and met him right there in the hole.
So now another 3rd and long opportunity for the Academy offense. They're going to pile up trips receivers. They'll bunch them up right side with Rathburn by himself on the left side. Watch Amador Lopez in that trio on the right side of the offense. He'll run the wheel route, but the crossing route is caught and hit immediately. That was Braden Conley who made the catch, and it was Thatcher Queen on the tackle, but it is enough for the first down. They got it right to the sticks, maybe a yard past, a gain of, call it 9 on the completion, and it's 1st and 10 for the Academy.
The ball is at the 32-yard line.
32-yard line, yep.
Yeah, once again, the receiver's doing a great job of finding the opening spot.
Nothing fancy, just quick little in and out routes, high completion routes, taking advantage of the soft spot in the defense. Shotgun for Allen. He'll take the snap. There's the give to Mendoza. Head of steam for the big back as he barrels his way past the 35, up near the 40-yard line. They're going to give him the 38, so a gain of 6 on the first down carry.
And he's starting to get more confidence. He's running with a lot of power right now, and that's the scary thing, right? If he gets in a roll right now and gets more confidence like this team is getting, it can pose a lot of problems for this defense.
You've talked about his size and how big of a load he can be to bring down, especially when he gets a head of steam like that. Can't let him get that big burst through the line of scrimmage if you're Brush. Spread formation once again. Lopez inside Baker. The snap and the give. Mendoza, huge hole. He's all the way across the 50 to the 45, and he's down to about the 40-yard line. They'll call it the 42. It's going to be a healthy pickup there for Mendoza.
22 yards on that carry and a first down for Mendoza, deep now into Brush territory just outside the 40-yard line.
42 officially, and Thatcher Queen coming in the near sideline, kind of holding his right hand up against his belly. Hopefully nothing serious there as he's kind of working that right shoulder a little bit. That's not something you want to see if you're Brush.
No.
Shotgun for Allen. They flip the formation this time with 2 receivers on the left side, and they late handoff from Allen, and the back's able to get positive yardage out of it, but that was almost disastrous for the Academy. They're going to mark him down at the 41, a gain of a yard, and that was the backup running back, Lucas Sanchez, the junior, in there on that carry.
Academy's found some, they've got some confidence right now. They found some plays that are working. They're pounding it straight down the defense. The running back's getting that momentum behind him. It's going to be hard to bring him down.
This has been a quick third quarter. We're down to 45 seconds and counting in this third quarter. 28-12 Brush, but Academy moving the football again. 2nd down and 9 from the Brush 41. Brush looking to bring the blitz, and they will meet the running back, but it's Allen on the quarterback keeper, and he's going to weave his way down to the 31-yard line, a gain of 10, and Allen a little bit slow to get up. 30.4 seconds. The clock stops on the first down carry. Once they set the football, they'll wind the clock. The official gives the signal, and the clock starts moving. 27 seconds and rolling. A 10-yard gain for Allen. Brush crashed on that running back, and Allen read it perfectly and pulled it out and turned it into a big gain.
They've had a lot of success with that play throughout the game. Early in the first quarter, and all the way through the second quarter, they had lots of success with that. Sometimes they pulled it out, other times he kept it and took off. And just a great job there. Putting a lot of, keeping the defense guessing is what they're doing right now, and it's been very difficult.
Well, a quick third quarter is in the books. Brush is holding the lead, 28-12, but we've got 1 quarter left to play, and the Academy's on the move on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Fourth quarter of action arrives, and Brush is holding a 16-point advantage, up 28-12. Our fourth quarter presented by Rudy's Tires. Locations across the area means there's one nearby when you need them, and you can always find them online at rudystires.com. Proud to bring you Eastern Plains Sports Today every weekday at 1 o'clock right here on 1010 KSIR. Chris Bullbrom alongside Ron Albin. Ron, you're up by 16 if you're Brush, but it doesn't feel like you're in control of this football game right now.
No, they're not in control of this football game, and I know they realize that right now, and so they're playing with a little bit of pressure as far as that goes, knowing this game's not in control.
Trips formation on 1st and 10 for the Academy. A handoff up the middle, and there's a stout stomp by the Brush defensive line. Couple of linebackers in the mix as well. Jelani Thomas, the first man to meet Mendoza. A gain of a yard for Mendoza to the 30-yard line, excuse me. 2nd down and 9 for the Academy. They're at the Brush 30. Trying to close the gap. Down by 16. You're still a 2-possession game technically. A pair of touchdowns and a pair of 2-point conversions gives you a tie ball game if you're the Academy. Shotgun for Allen in the spread. The give to Mendoza on the delayed handoff. Another option play, and they let it stay with Mendoza, and he'll push his way forward inside the 30. Gain of about 3 on the carry to the 26-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 officially. It'll be 3rd down and 5. And right now, the Academy not doing anything fancy. They're just handing it off right up the middle.
Yep, they're just going man on man right there and see who's tougher. Try to overpower that defensive line.
See what they do here as they go 4 receivers, 2 on either side with Mendoza in the backfield. Allen surveys the defense. Shotgun snap, 3-step drop, airing it out far side into double coverage, underthrown ball, and Eric Rico was actually in better position for the play on the football. Flag flies, and if this is going to be pass interference, it's going to have to be on the offense. Yeah, it is offensive pass interference because Eric Rico was playing the position of the wide receiver on that play.
Yeah, he was positioned. He got himself between the ball and the man where he's supposed to be, and, of course, he was right there, almost had a pick.
He's already got 6 of them this season. He would have loved number 7. Unfortunately, it falls through his arms, but the Academy is going to lose 15 yards on the pass interference call, taking the football back to the 40, call it the 41 officially. Nose of the football on the 41-yard line of Brush. And it is 3rd down and now 20 for the Academy. Bunch receivers on the right side. Near side is Aaron Baker by himself. 3-step drop, pass far side, well out of the reach of the intended receiver. That was Gavin Snortland working against Thatcher Queen, and that ball was about 3 yards beyond either one of them. And it is 4th down and long, 4th and 20 for the Academy.
Well, it really was odd on that. They had a receiver on the near side of the field where he was wide open. I mean, he had gotten behind our defensive back on this side. Kind of crazy why he didn't look that way to throw the ball to him. But anyway, Thatcher Queen doing a great job as a free safety. Once he commits to where that ball is going, he's breaking on it and helping to defend it.
The punt unit out there for the first time tonight for the Academy. First time either team's attempted a punt, and that one's going to be short and take a beat digger bounce. It's actually going to end up right at the 1st down marker where the Academy needed to get a 1st down at the 21-yard line is where they're going to spot the football down. So not much on the punt there. We're on about, 20 yards officially. So Brush, chance to put some insurance points on the board, up 28-12, 10-13 to go in the 4th quarter. Maybe give themselves a little more breathing room.
Yeah, I mean, you would love to see a 10-minute drive here, but it's probably not going to happen. But that's exactly what you'd like to see right now, at least at a good 8-minute drive.
Something to eat up a big chunk of this 4th quarter as the handoff to Thomas ends up going nowhere. Good read by Heath Allen, who serves as the team's inside linebacker on defense, and he's going to drop Thomas for a loss of a yard on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Well, back to that last play offensively for the Academy. You mentioned Allen not looking to that near side on that receiver that was wide open. We've seen him do that a few times tonight where he stares down one receiver from the word go, and maybe that's just a guy not being familiar with the quarterback position as Thomas takes the handoff again, and this time he makes up for the lost yard. He gets 11 to move the sticks down to the 32-yard line of Brush, and it'll be a fresh set of downs for the Beet Diggers. Nothing surprising there, just a good old-fashioned handoff that Thomas kicked outside and picked up 11 yards.
Yeah, exactly. And, and with the quarterback from Academy not playing quarterback all year long, yes, there is a learning curve there. So that could be the reason why those passes have been, overthrown or didn't know exactly where he needed to go.
Rico under center. He'll roll out, near side pressure comes, and he's just going to fling it to the near sideline, and that's going to be an intentional grounding flag because that ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, and there was not a receiver in the vicinity. And
Conrad Kastrup is trying to plead his case. He is a tight end. He was right there just about the 32-yard line. He put his hands up. I don't know if the referee is going to buy that one or not, but it's definitely worth a try.
There was also a late flag at the back end. I don't know if that's going to go against. Yeah, it is going to be a loss of down and the loss of yardage on the intentional grounding. I was going to say I didn't know if maybe there was going to be another flag on the Academy after they took the quarterback down at the end of that play, but apparently both flags were for the intentional grounding.
Looking at the sidelines, Coach Schwint is trying to plead his case to the referee also that Kastrup was in the area. So
it is going to be second down and, gosh, forever it feels like. Second down and 30.
30, yeah.
Yeah, second down and 30 all the way back to the 12-yard line. The handoff to Thomas, slips a tackle to the 20, 25, near sideline, 35, 40, 45, and he's shoved out of bounds by Cedric Rathburn, but Jelani Thomas says, okay, you know what, we'll make up for the intentional grounding. All the way down to the 46-yard line, a pickup of 34 on the run by Thomas. Well, if nothing else, Ron, the intentional grounding and all of that is helping to take a little bit extra time off the clock.
Yep, that's true.
Down to 8:43 officially. Clock stops with the runner out of bounds. Beet Diggers, same formation, split backfield, and they'll hand it off to Thomas again. Oh, excuse me, that's Cassius Middle missed. And Middle missed able to turn it upfield. He's angled out of bounds at the Academy 38-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 16 on the carry for Middle Mist, and we've got another injured Wildcat down on the field for the Academy, down at about the 35-yard line. So the two teams will head to their respective sides and grab a knee and a bottle of water while the training staff and the coaches come out to take a look at the injured Wildcat. Gives us a chance to remind you that Premier Farm Credit brings you our coverage of Brush High School football here on the Eastern Plains Sports Network for over 100 years, providing affordable, reliable, and consistent credit. Visit PremierACA.com to learn more. We'll talk about reliable and consistent. The Brush offensive scheme has been pretty reliable and consistent for a number of years, and you see it run to perfection again tonight.
Yes, exactly. They do it. They know what they need to do. They execute it. They practice it. Like I said, they can come out in different formations and show you a different look, but the plays and the scheme is pretty much all the same. So if you've watched them play, if you've scouted them, if you've played against them, you know what they're going to do. They're going to be heavy in the run. They're going to like to run the trap, and if you stop the trap, they're going to run that off-tackle play, and you got to take your choice. What do you want to stop? That's what it really comes down to. And when the offense is running smooth and everybody's clicking, it's awful hard. It's just a guessing game for the defense, and it'll wear you out by the end of the game.
And you're seeing that a little bit here. I mean, Brush's offense hasn't been on the field that much tonight because their drives have been fairly short and fairly quick. But even here in this fourth quarter, and especially in high school football where you've got guys playing both ways, they're starting to get tired by this fourth quarter on the Academy side, and Brush is getting some pretty big chunks of yards.
Yeah, that's true. And, and Brush has got the luxury, obviously, they're able to sub a couple of guys in there every once in a while. But, when you're looking at that starting defense and that starting offense, that is pretty much the same core guys that are playing on both sides of the ball. And you know what? When you're out there and you're playing in a game like this, you want your best 11 athletes on the field, and if it means they're playing both sides of the ball, they're going to do that. They're going to get their break a lot of times on the special teams. So that's where they'll get a break, maybe on a kickoff or a kickoff return. But when it comes to offense and defense, your best athletes are on the field.
Without a doubt. And this is a big game for the Beat Diggers. Obviously, an undefeated season at the moment, 8-0 on the year. They've locked in a playoff spot. They've locked in the Colorado 7 championships, so there's no danger of losing either one of those. The Academy at 2-6, their season's done after tonight. They're not going to make the postseason, so they've got an opportunity to kind of leave everything out on the field. But I think Brush maybe came in here with the mentality of get the clock moving early, maybe bring in some younger guys to carry out the rest of the game, and the Academy had other ideas.
Well, and a good thing too, when you think about this being senior night, what a great opportunity for the seniors just to play as much time as they can. So
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with that.
Give them plenty of playing time. 8:38 on the clock after the injury timeout as the snap goes to Rico. The handoff to Krob. Krob breaking tackles to the 25, down past the 20, and he's upended inside the 20-yard line. All the way down to the Academy 12 is where they spot him down. 26 on the carry for big number 38.
What a great job. That play was set up by David Chamberlain playing right guard, pulling to the left, trapping and kicking out that lineman, and allowing Thomas to run right up inside there for a big, or Krob for a big gain.
Krob immediately to the near sideline. He'll be spelled in the backfield. Rico under center with 2 backs behind him. Single receivers either side, and a flag flies before the snap. It's going to be a false start on Brush. We have not had a ton of flags tonight, Ron. It's been a pretty clean game on both sides.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean, this time of the year, the referees, obviously, you don't have a lot of those miscues or whatever that are going on. The referees are just letting them play the game and get out of here.
So that'll march him back 5 yards. 1st and 15 back to the 17-yard line. By the way, the injured Wildcat was senior Gavin Snortland, one of the defensive ends for the Academy. He was helped to the far sideline. Rico takes the snap, gives it to Thomas. Thomas met at the line of scrimmage, carries a couple of tacklers with him. The first one there was Lucas Gable. The other was Cedric Rathburn. And Thomas inside the 15 to the 14-yard line got 4 of the 5 penalty yards, or 3 of the 5 penalty yards back. 2nd down and 12. Brush up 28-12. We're approaching 7 minutes to go in the ball game. Looking to close out a perfect regular season at 9-0 and then turn their attention to the ensuing postseason. It's a pitch to the outside. There's Middle Mist as he slips a couple of tackles, and he's going to carry the ball inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. It is going to be 3rd down and very short. 3rd down and a long yard for Brush. They need the 2-yard line to convert this 3rd down. And the 2 big backs in the backfield, Thomas and Krob behind Rico under center. One of those 2 big boys probably going to get the football here. The snap and the give. It's Krob barreling forward. 3 yards in for the Beat Digger touchdown.
Dylan Krob doing a great job. Just a quick hitter. Hand the ball off to him. A straight dive over the right guard, and it's a touchdown. That was set up by an amazing run by Cassius Middlemist prior to that play. And Cassius is such a great change of pace player in that backfield. That quickness, the speed that he has, and then, of course, you got the power of the 2 big guys in the middle.
You knew one of them was going to get the ball there, and it was Krob. And like you said, just a quick hitter. He was almost through that line before they knew what hit him as Rico connects on the extra point. He's been perfect tonight. 5 for 5 is number 7 on PATs. It's 35-12 Brush. We've got 6:10 on the clock here in the 4th quarter. This score brought to you by Wiggins Equipment. Count on Wiggins Electric for quick, efficient, and courteous service to keep you up and running. They provide you with the service and products you need at your most critical time. Well, quick shout out to the Brush Lady Beat Digger volleyball team who got a 5-set win tonight over Silver Creek as they finish up their regular season this week as well. And postseason volleyball action is going to be upon us very, very soon. And I know Brush has got a couple of cross-country runners that are going to be participating this weekend in the state cross-country tournament.
Yeah, definitely. We got Fernando Ramirez, who's a senior on the boys' side, and then we've got freshman, and she's an amazing little runner for a freshman. In fact, she holds the school records now in high school in cross-country, and she also was very successful. I coached her in 3 years in track in middle school, and she was also a cross-country participant, and she broke many records in the cross-country and track in middle school, and it's just continued for her in her high school season so far. So best of luck to them.
Absolutely, as this spiraling kick from Rico is picked up at the 25-30 outside the numbers, and up the far sideline goes Cedric Rathburn. Another pretty decent return for the Academy Wildcats. That was an area that, Ron, you highlighted in our pregame show. We mentioned it a little bit in the first half. A soft spot in this Brush team was their special teams unit, and the Academy on a couple of occasions has taken advantage of that. And you get them down to the 33-yard line officially for the start of this drive, and that helps shorten up the field a little bit for an offense that's been able to move the football at times.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely to their advantage right there to shorten that field. Sorry.
6:03 to go. 35-12. Brush, their largest lead of the contest at 23 as Allen pump fakes, looks to throw, pulls it down, and decides to do it himself. And Cassius Middlemiss comes flying out of nowhere like a honey badger looking for his next meal. He tracked down Heath Allen and it swallows him up after a gain of only 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Man, talk about all motor all the time.
Yep.
Cassius Middlemiss.
Yeah, he's just a guy that you just love to have on your football team, and he sets a great example for everybody on that team, and definitely for a lot of those younger ball players too. He just goes to whistle to whistle.
That's exactly what you want, and he's got the speed to cover sideline to sideline, as you saw there. Allen in the shotgun. He'll go 2 by 2 the receivers now with the single back Mendoza in the backfield. The snap to Allen. Quick drop. Airing it out. Far side. Pass caught. That's Lopez. Amador Lopez gets his legs taken out from under him. Middlemiss again on the tackle, but it's enough for a first down for the Wildcats down to the 46-yard line. Gain of 10 on the completion to Amador Lopez. 1st and 10, Wildcats. And again, same thing there. Just found the soft spot in the zone. Gave his quarterback an easy target.
Yeah, Lopez has done a great job. He's a great route runner. But just watch him throughout this entire game. He runs really crisp, clean routes.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with number 3. Exactly what you want out of your slot receiver as he lines up in the slot again. They go trips receivers on this left side with Braden Conley, the senior, wide left, and Rathburn wide right, and it's a quick screen pass to Conley, and Conley up the middle tried to put on the brakes, and he gets walloped shy of midfield.
Yeah, that's a great play setup, a nice inside receiver screen. The only problem he ran into is he ran back into the middle of the field where all that traffic and all his defense is, and so that's not going to get you very much. Had he just taken one step at the hash mark and cut it upfield, he might have been gone for a big gainer.
Yeah, one cut and go is generally the mentality in football, and he tried to work it back to the middle of the field. It'll be 2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3. Ball at the 49-yard line of the Wildcats, a yard outside of midfield. Same formation with trips left side. This time airing it out up the near sideline and well beyond the reach of Conley as he was running that fly route down the near sideline, and ball misses him by several yards. Incomplete pass will bring up 3rd down and 7. It's only about the 3rd time we've seen them really try a deep pass on just a straight go route from one of their receivers.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the inexperience of their quarterback, just not playing that position and not knowing where the receivers are going to be and maybe stepping and delivering that ball.
I've always been a big fan, especially at the high school level, of running more of those intermediate routes, those shorter pass routes, those high completion passes. Build a little confidence for your quarterback before you try to hit those home run balls, as he airs it out far side this time, looking on a out route for Amador Lopez, and that was on the defense there. They got immediate pressure on Heath Allen, and he just had to fire off his back foot and never really could get his feet set underneath him.
Yeah, Coach Rosenbrock calling a double blitzer. He had Kastrup coming and Krob both coming. They planned that perfectly, got in the face of the quarterback, got their hands up, and took away any kind of completion that they could have had.
Down to 3:29 on the clock. Brush up 35-12. It's a big 4th down and 7 for the Wildcats. This could give Brush a chance to salt this one away. The snap to Allen, rolling out on the bootleg near side, slings it, and a diving attempt by Amador Lopez. Are they going to give him the grab? I think they gave him the catch, but I think the official says he was shy of the 1st down.
I'm not quite sure.
Or did they say he...
One of the official on the sideline waved his hands like it was incomplete, but...
but they're spotting the
they're
football.
spotting the football. Nope, it's going to be turnover on downs.
It is a turnover on downs, and yeah, they're going to say it was an incomplete pass. They were swapping out the footballs is what they were doing. So incomplete pass on the attempt to Lopez. Brush takes over 1st and 10 from the Academy 49-yard line. So 3:22 to go. Brush up by 23. This is really your opportunity if you're Brush to run these last 3 minutes off the clock and put this one away. They go full house backfield with 3 backs, and it's Middle Mist who takes the handoff and bursts through the line of scrimmage, and he's got the 1st down all the way to the 33-yard line. A gain of 16 on the carry for Middle Mist.
Once again, big, quick hitters and big chunks of yards on those plays. What an amazing job tonight. Those running backs are just doing a great job of hitting the hole hard and running fast.
Now if you're Coach Rosenbrock, you just tell them, hey, guys, take a little bit of time in the huddle. Take a little time getting to the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Don't have to be in a big hurry. Again, they go full house backfield. Straight line of backs as they give it to Jelani Thomas. And Thomas, not much going there as he's stopped after a gain of a yard. 2nd down and 9. They faked the pitch on the outside and gave it off to Thomas, and the Academy did a good job of staying on their assignment.
If you know Brush football, that was them running a 54 special.
Sticking with the 3-man backfield, it's Krob, Thomas, and Middle Mist behind Rico with 2 tight ends, and again, Middle Mist will take the handoff, and boy, as quick as he is, give him some credit for the strength as well, as he carries at least 2 tacklers all the way down to the 25-yard line, and he's going to be just short of the 1st down, a gain of 8. It's 3rd down and a yard. I mean, he's got the speed, Ron, but that young man carried 3 guys with him.
Yeah, he's got strong legs, he's got lots of power, he's very deceiving when you look at him, but that guy puts pads on and he becomes a different person on the football field.
Down to 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Brush slowing the tempo down offensively, just trying to milk the last few moments off this clock. Snap and the give. Jelani Thomas barrels his way forward. He's got the 1st down to the 20.
That time they switched it up. They had a sophomore come in, Udiel Lopez.
Oh, excuse me, that was Lopez,
Yep.
the ball carrier. See, even I got fooled on the handoff there. He needed a yard. He got 4, and it is 1st and 10. Brush. Clock winds after they set the football. The Academy recognizing that at this point, down by 23, there's not much they can do, so they're going to let the clock run as well. Brush in victory formation. They'll take a couple of knees or one should be enough to bring this one to a close. Rico will set up under center, take the snap and the knee, and that should be enough Well, I guess 37 seconds. They'll have to take one more knee. There's the snap and the kneel down, and now that'll bring this one to a close. Brush, 23-point victory, 35-12 the final, a perfect 9-0 regular season for the Beet Diggers as their regular season comes to a close and they punch their ticket to the postseason. What a night for the Brush Beet Diggers. Not the kind of night we expected, Ron. Not as one-sided as I think it looked on paper.
Yep.
But the Beet Diggers came through when they needed to and got the victory.
Oh, yeah, great job. I mean, like I said, you talk about these games, yes, looking on the outside, it should be an easy run over. But, nobody's an easy game. Okay, everybody comes to play, no matter who you are. And so the key with these guys, what's so impressive is that being able to not let this get into your head and put you in a tailspin, making adjustments when you needed to make the adjustments, and to be able to come out, with a victory. And there's always got things that you got to work on. And I know that they'll take a look at this film. They'll be watching it. They'll be trying to figure out exactly what they need to do to shore things up. Of course, a lot of that depends upon who the next opponent's going to be and who they're going to be playing. They'll be scouting that opponent and finding out what their tendencies are, and then making some corrections on things that they need to do to run and to be successful and hopefully come out with another win in this first round of the playoffs. So, yeah, lots of fun. What a great job. I mean, it's been a long time, since 2014. I was part of that coaching staff with Coach Streitz here and Coach Schwint, and we were undefeated Patriot League champions, which is good. Of course, that was our last complete undefeated season with the state championship. So these guys are definitely on the right track right now, and I know that they want to just make sure they just take one game at a time. This season's over with. They're going to celebrate it. They're going to enjoy it, but they know that this is not what they want to do. The end is in 4 more weeks.
When you talk to a lot of football coaches, they'll tell you that the season's kind of 3 different seasons. You got your preseason, you've got your league season, and then you've got the postseason. Well, the first 2 are out of the way. Now you can focus on a brand new start for the postseason. Everything you did during the regular season's great, but it's a fresh set of stuff when you get to the postseason.
And everybody's got a 0-0 record when they line up come next week. And Brush had a heck of a preseason schedule this year. Very tough, difficult. I mean, you're playing Ray. They're in the top 10 or whatever, so they'll be in the state playoffs. We played University. We played we played Yuma. Yuma will also be in the playoffs in 1A. So there's no slouch teams that we play there. Those are all very good quality teams. And for when we looked at that preseason record, if we could come out of that preseason in that type of a schedule and come undefeated, not saying that it wasn't going to be easy, but it was in our favor, because this league right now, the strength has not been how it has been in the past, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way the schedule goes and the way the schools are. But once again, you still got to play the games. But we knew that we were setting in good shape coming out of that preseason 4-0. Heading into league play, and it's played out exactly just like the coaches were talking.
Well, it's a 9-0 season for the Beet Diggers, and now the postseason lies ahead. 35-12 the final. We'll step aside for a break, come back, and finish wrapping things up, and hopefully get a chance to talk to Coach Rosenbrock as well. So stick around. That's coming up on our postgame show right here on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back here in Brush at Brush High School as we wrap things up on this Thursday night. Our postgame show brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants, providing big firm products with small firm relationships since 2003. Visit westerneci.com. I'm Chris Brom alongside Ron Alba, and the coach joins us right now. Coach Rosenbrock, congratulations, a 9-0 regular season. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, thank you. It's not too often you get to say that, and not too often Brush has been able to say that. And so that's a testament to just a lot of the, it's not a 1 year. It's not like, oh, hey, this year was a good year. It was those freshmen came in pretty puny. Those seniors came in pretty puny their freshman year, with a lot of promise, and probably one of the bigger football classes we've had as far as attendance. Maybe I think there's like 25 or 6 kids out freshman year. Like, this is a big class, and it's dwindled down to the 17 that it is now. And that's a huge senior class, but the strong survive, and very happy for these kids to accomplish that feat. But it is a testament to the entire team. I mean, there's a lot that goes into a season. The fans just see the games on Friday nights, or in this case Thursday night, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So it's a great accomplishment. Again, something you don't see very often. So excited for our kids to have that happen, and yeah, excited to be the coach in this scenario.
Speaking of a testament to their determination, this one a little closer, I think, than some folks may have expected, but that didn't seem to rattle them. They kind of kept the course tonight.
Yeah, that honestly keeping the course is exactly what we said at halftime. You guys don't know it. They drove the field and I don't know, converted on a ton of third and fourth down scenarios, and it was blown coverage or a blown assignment. It's like, who's got the quarterback on this scenario? And the guy's like, I do. Well, why didn't you cover the quarterback on that? I don't know. And the next time, well, who's got the tight end on this? I do. Why weren't you on the tight end on that screen? I don't know. And it's good to see that early on, or right now when you're playing a team, when you're up like that, because we can't make that mistake in the playoff. They're kids. They're young kids. They're going to make mistakes. They get caught up in the game and they lose their mind, or there's something that happens. It's okay. Bringing back to reality, we can't just play freely. We got to play discipline. We got to play within the confines of our scheme and know what we're doing. We can't just go out there and street ball, because that's what happens. And good teams that are going to come in here in the playoffs are going to have that same. We're going to have to face and execute the same way. So it's good that we see it. We can teach the kids, and they'll see what happens when you do make a mistake is you pay for it. Otherwise, if we don't make 2 or 3 mistakes, they don't get past the 40-yard line, they punt it, or we stop them on fourth down, and it's a 42-0 game early on. We just can't give teams life by making errors on our part, just mental errors.
So, Coach, what do you take from this game that can help you for preparing next week for the first round of the playoffs? What do you take?
That right there, a learning experience. You can't just come out and do your own thing. You've got to be locked in from the start. And honestly, communication needs to improve. Like we've got to know what coverage we're in. If we're in a different coverage than we were the play before, you have to be able to communicate it, and there's nothing wrong with confirming with the person to the right and to the left with you. If they know it, that's fine. If they don't know it, you're going to be happy that you did confirm it with them, and then you get off the field on a 3rd and long or a 4th and long or something like that. But having breakdowns in coverage because of lack of communication, I think was a big factor to keeping Academy in the game for as long as we did. So we got to eliminate those mental mistakes and see what the repercussions are if you don't do it. You got to be able to, as all teams are, you got to be able to go into the next week, kind of brush off this, but you've got to clean up the mistakes. And then offensively, we have always been, a really strong running team. We're going to get to a team that packs the box, and we got to be able to block and execute correctly and not give up, not get into 2nd and long or 3rd and long and hope that we can save us with a 20-yard run or a 30-yard run like Jelani had. Those are just mistakes that I'm glad we made now.
Yeah.
You'd much rather make them now than make them next week and the week after that. So we gotta get better, and we gotta learn, and the kids have to understand the gravity of mistakes now amplify when you get to the playoffs.
Was there any thought about coming into this game and maybe allowing Eric to throw the ball a little bit more? I mean, you had some pass plays there to try to see if you could open that, because you might have to rely on that later on down the season.
Absolutely. Teams are gonna find a way to be creative and stop certain plays and run the run game that we've got. And so practice with the passing game, and what we have been trying to do really the last 5 games is air it out and find our bread and butter passing plays that work best for our kids and the scheme that we have. So we did come into this. We'd love to be balanced. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So keep running the ball. But you're right. I mean, we do have to get better at passing, and Eric has shown a lot of improvement from just his sophomore year to now in decision making, and our kids are getting better at understanding routes, against the cover 4 or man-to-man when do we split out wide versus when should we have a tight alignment. So our passing game's getting better because we're going to need it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all it takes is just one or two plays that softens up the defense, and then our run game is going to be much more effective. So we've done a great job with that this year, and we definitely try to work it. We just got to fix some mistakes and be smart with the ball in critical situations.
Coach, I know the last couple weeks a lot of the conversation has circled around Richie Bruno not being in the lineup, but you had three guys tonight in that backfield with Middle Mist and Thomas and Krob, all three of them more than capable of carrying the load.
Yeah, we knew. I mean, Bruno's a great player. I'm not going to take it away from him, but that doesn't mean that we should take it away from the other kids because those kids ran hard. And everybody's got to be saying, well, where's Brush get all these running backs? Because we're sure glad to have them all.
Yep.
We're pretty dynamic in our running back. That's in our backfield. So that's it's great to have depth going into the playoffs.
Without a doubt. And a combination, you got size, speed, power, you can do a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, Coach, I know this is one that you'll celebrate for a little bit, but then you kind of got to wipe it clean and start fresh. Everybody's 0-0 at this point.
Yep. On to the next. On to the playoffs.
Well, congratulations, Coach Rosenbrock, on an undefeated regular season, and hopefully there's 4 more wins in the next few weeks.
I like the sound of that. Okay. As always, it's a great day to be a beat digger.
All right,
Without a
congratulations,
doubt.
Coach. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of the week.
Once again, Coach Joe Rosenbrock joins us here in the booth, and Ron, he echoed a lot of what we talked about during the game, the discipline, knowing where you're supposed to be on defense. We could see it from up here that's what a lot of what was going on with Brush tonight is somebody wasn't where they were supposed to be, and Academy took advantage of it.
Yeah, and Coach is, being the expert he is as far as coaching this defense and coaching the offense, he knows what had happened out there, and it was great to hear him say that the players understood what they were doing wrong. Because when you understand that you can correct. When you don't understand it, it makes it hard to correct that. And so that is just a testament, obviously, to those athletes being in the system, but also a great job with this coaching staff being able to coach those kids up and have them understand what's going on. So great job. I mean, they definitely are on the right track right now. We wish them the best of luck. And like we said, it's 0-0 starting now. Sunday, they will have the seeding, the brackets put together. So Sunday afternoon, you'll be able to know who the first round playoff's going to be. And, it could be Alamosa. It could be, I'm not, that's what I can think of. Alamosa might be one of the top teams in there, but we're not quite sure because there's a Bayfield game in Alamosa, and I think there's Lamar and somebody else playing. So those guys are all like within a game of each other. So, it depends on who shakes up and who wins what determines who will be coming here to play Brush. And they'll be hosting a first-round game, which is awesome.
It looks like potentially a Florence, a Delta, or an Alamosa, which, again, all three of those teams have a lengthy travel one way or the other. So we got to kind of determine how that plays out. But I was also glad to hear Coach Rosenbrock mention, you want to get a game like this now rather than earlier in the season. You don't want to coast through these last few games and kind of give yourself an inflated sense of superiority going into the postseason. Because like he said, if you make those same mistakes against a team in the playoffs, you're not going to be as lucky.
No, you don't get another chance. It's a one and done. So you got to treat every game like that. This could be our last game.
Well, it was a good win for the Beat Diggers tonight. 35-12 the final. They finished the regular season undefeated. Now we turn our attention to the postseason. Ron, let's take an opportunity to name our player or players of the game, brought to you by Morgan Community College. Start your associate degree, continue your education, or get a specialized certificate. Visit morgancc.edu for more information. Personally, I know we don't have any official stats in front of us, but I mean, those three running backs, the combination of Jelani Thomas and Cassius Middle Mist and Dylan Krob, those three combined, they carried the weight of that offense tonight.
Yeah, I don't even know what the total rushing was, but I'm sure it's well over 200 yards
easily
between that group right there. And you're talking power, you're talking quickness, you're talking speed. All those three guys right there. Without that combination, the success they had would not have happened. And you know what? That has got to be very scary for a lot of teams scouting Brush, going, okay, their number one rusher's not in the lineup right now, But look at these three guys. We got to figure out how we're going to stop any one of these three guys, and it's not going to be a difficult job for any team that they face. But yeah, I'd have to agree with you that yes, it happened. Offensive line does a great job, but those three guys handled the ball very well tonight, and they had big plays down the field. I mean, they took the ball. We're talking 26 yards, 40-some yards. I mean, there was they ran between the tackles when they needed to, but man, they could bust off some big runs. And we talk about the quickness and the strength of Middle Miss. You get in the ball, you got the power of Jelani Thomas, and then you got the quick hitter of Dylan Crow. What an amazing group and a problem to have, or to have that and have to have a defense try to prepare for that.
Without a doubt. And you get Bruno back in the mix of that, and all of a sudden teams are like, well, now what do we do? Because now you got four guys you got to contend with, and like you said, every single one of them ran off at least a big play of 20-plus yards tonight. So all three of them heavily involved in the offense. All three of them did a great job. And I'm glad you mentioned the offensive line because obviously they couldn't do any of that without the guys working up front. But those three guys get our nod as the players of the game in this one. And Brush takes home the victory over the Academy, 35-12, our final in this one. That's going to do it for our Thursday night of football. As Ron mentioned, Sunday they'll have the brackets officially done and out, and we'll know where Brush is going to be and who they'll be facing coming next week.
Well, we do know it's going to be here.
Well,
we
that's
just don't
true.
know who it's going to be yet.
That's right.
So, yeah, we will, because we should be a top 4 seed. We'll be hosting a playoff game, which will be at Beat Digger Stadium Sunday or Saturday, November 7th or 8th? 7th. No, November 8th, actually.
8th, yeah, that's right.
November
Yeah,
8th.
Friday's the 7th.
Saturday, November 8th. Most likely kickoff time would be at 1 o'clock, but we'll get all that confirmation once Sunday rolls around and who the opponent's going to be. So looking forward to extending now, going to the first round of the playoffs. It's been a long time, so it's kind of nice to see that happening and coming back home to Beat Digger Stadium.
Without a doubt. Ron, thanks so much for the time and the analysis tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you very much, Chris. I enjoyed working with you.
Without
Appreciate
a doubt. And big thanks to Rose back at the studio, our engineer, for running tonight's contest. And thanks to all of you for joining us. It's been a win for the Beat Diggers at home tonight to finish the season 9-0. They win 35-12 against the Academy Wildcats. I'm Chris Bulbron. This has been a special presentation of Beat Digger football on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.